on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A new video plea from Savannah Guthrie.
We still have hope.
As the search enters day 18, she's urging the person who abducted her 84-year-old mother to do the right thing. As for the investigation, CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson.
The FBI recovered a glove similar to the one worn by a masked man seen on surveillance video outside her home. If there's a DNA hit, it could identify a suspect. The FBI says it's working more than 13,000 tips as agents continue to follow leads.
Investigators believe the kidnapper bought his clothing and face mask at a Walmart. A partial government shutdown is entering its third day. CBS's Bradley Blackburn says so far, holiday flyers don't have to worry.
At airports this morning, TSA lines should be running normally, but checkpoint agents are now working without the promise of a paycheck as the funding fight in Washington continues. Democrats are refusing to fund the Department of Homeland Security, affecting agencies like the TSA, FEMA, and the U.S. Coast Guard because they first want reforms at ICE. On Face the Nation Sunday, President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, said ICE is acting within federal law, but the administration has made changes as criticism of ICE piles up.
The suspect in Australia's worst mass murder in almost 30 years, the Bondi Beach massacre, made a court appearance via video today. The BBC's Emily Watson is in Sydney.
He was wearing a green prison issue jumper. He said very little. There was some discussion about some reporting restrictions on the identities of survivors. He was asked whether he kind of understood that conversation. He said yes. And pretty much that was it.
15 people were killed, dozens injured during a Hanukkah celebration. Secretary of State Marco Rubio had kind words for Hungary's populist Prime Minister Viktor Orban in Budapest today before they signed a civilian nuclear cooperation agreement.
Especially as long as you're the Prime Minister and the leader of this country, it's in our national interest that Hungary be successful. It helps America, and obviously it helps you.
Rubio made a stop in Slovakia yesterday, putting him in friendly territory with leaders who back President Trump. Passion rules supreme at the movies.
You want me to stop?
Warner Brothers says its R-rated Wuthering Heights is on pace to sell about $40 million worth of tickets from Friday through today in the U.S. and Canada. Number 2,
A goat.
Steph Curry's animated movie about a goat with big dreams of playing in the big leagues. Expected sales about $32 million. Crime 101 is third. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
It is 6:03, and right now we've got clear skies in downtown St. Louis, 36 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. It is going to warm up today. We'll have the forecast for you momentarily. We're awaiting more details from Illinois State Police about a fatal crash that happened overnight in Edwardsville. A pickup truck crashed into the Redmond Insurance Agency building on South Main. That brought an end to a police pursuit of the truck. No officers were injured in the crash. The building has major damage.
A homicide suspect is dead following a standoff with a Jefferson County SWAT team at a Festus hotel. Detectives tracked 69-year-old Bill Mormon to the Holiday Inn Express in connection with a woman's death in Fenton. After hours of negotiations, officers found the suspect dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside his Festus hotel room.
Sheriff Marshak says Mormon shot, stabbed, and killed 46-year-old Marjan Ludwig Saturday afternoon in a home in Fenton. Mormon and Ludwig knew each other, but their relationship is unclear. The sheriff's office says no shots were fired by law enforcement during the incident. The hotel was evacuated for several hours.
$40 million from the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act has gone out just to Missourians.
Go online. If you need help, contact my office. We have helped thousands of people apply. And not a single person has been denied.
Missouri Senior Senator Josh Hawley providing an update on Facebook about the success of RECA, something he pushed for months to get passed in the Senate. Hawley says this is life-changing for thousands of Missourians.
For about a decade, Charles Lindbergh was the most famous man in the world. But grandson Eric Lindbergh says his grandmother was an equal partner.
She became a pilot, the first female licensed glider pilot in the United States, and co-pilot on those survey flights for Pan American Airways. She was a radio operator. I mean, she was essential crew, and she wrote North to the Orient and Listen to the Wind, these two books that were bestsellers.
The Lindbergh Foundation, which moved to St. Louis in 2024, will celebrate the remarkable life of Anne Morrow Lindbergh at their gala in May. Next year is the 100th anniversary of Charles Lindbergh crossing the Atlantic in the spirit of St. Louis.
Police in Jefferson County are throwing their support behind a bill to create a specialized school protection force.
The Missouri Rangers would undergo 160 hours of training focused on responding to violence in schools. Jefferson County Undersheriff Lieutenant Colonel Tim Whitney says with the police resources strained, it is difficult to put a full-time officer in every building. Whitney, a former SWAT leader, says it is vital that anyone carrying a gun in a school is prepared for the pressure of a high-stakes situation.
I don't think it's wise just to put somebody in a school and allow them to carry a firearm and say this is school safety, right? Because we don't know how that person is going to react under stress. I ran SWAT teams for a number of years, so I've seen human performance under stress. And I know some people aren't capable of performing in that, so we have to identify those people. And what this Senate bill does is it seeks to address that through training.
Missouri Rangers would have limited arrest powers on school property for weapons offenses and trespassing. The program is intended to act as a force multiplier alongside existing school resource officers. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
It appears a major political battle is intensifying amid the Save America Act. The House passed it, and it's heading to the Senate now.
Missouri's Congressman Wesley Bell says this bill is being debated because President Trump is trying to overturn an election he lost 6 years ago.
And some in this body are helping him do it. The Save America Act is built on a lie. The lie that the 2020 election was stolen.
Bell says on the House floor that lie has been investigated, litigated, audited, and debunked over and over again. But instead of accepting reality, the Save America Act authors are using that lie to take control of elections. Maria Akita, KMOX News.
If the Save America Act passes, it will require all voters to show proof of citizenship.
From the KMOX business desk, a downtown St. Louis entertainment district is taking shape. State legislation allowing such a district was signed into law last summer. Now, Alderman Jamie Cox Antwi and Rasheen Aldridge have introduced a bill that would establish the downtown St. Louis Sports and Entertainment Community Improvement District that would include most of downtown and downtown west.
That district would be funded by the state with $2.5 million a year going into it at first. Cox Antwi says the district will create new tools for state resources to be invested downtown and would be governed by a board of directors appointed by the mayor.
It is 6:08. So we're going to check the roadways if there are any issues on a quiet Monday morning, President's Day, but also this forecast, which is very spring-like. And the fight over data centers continues. That story's on the way as well. Stay with us here on Total Information AM.
How many of you think taxes will go up in the future? And if they do, who will get hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, February 19th or Tuesday, February 24th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
Well, AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg has a great forecast for us. We're going to have areas of dense fog in some places this morning, but otherwise partly sunny today and becoming warmer this afternoon with a high of 69 degrees. Now, for tonight, we get down to 45, but tomorrow we're back up again. 65 is the high with a mostly cloudy sky. Wednesday, the sun returns. We'll get a high of 74 on Wednesday with a breeze. Thursday, sunshine, building clouds, breezy and warm. A thunderstorm or two in the afternoon that could be severe with hail and damaging winds. A high of 71 degrees. Is this February or is this May? It's unbelievable. Right now, we're looking at a mostly clear sky, 36 degrees downtown at the Arch. We do have a stalled vehicle, 44 westbound past Antire. Lanes are open, but the right shoulder is closed there.
It is now 6:11. Data centers are no longer just a zoning issue. They're becoming a major flashpoint for the 2026 election cycle. So says KMOX political analyst, Republican John Hancock.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the first election cycle coming up here in 2026 where the data center issue is going to be on the table. And we'll see how folks on the left and the right that are wary about these things.
On the Democratic side, Michael Kelly says the party is split between environmental concerns and the promise of high-paying union construction jobs.
And I think this is the beginning of a larger debate we in politics are going to be having about AI and the singularity of it and what it means to our society. And this is just the tip of the spear, but I can tell you that I don't see data centers going away. I only see them growing.
The St. Louis Board of Aldermen narrowly rejected a proposal on Friday to pause new data center development until stricter zoning rules are finalized. In Washington, Senator Josh Hawley introducing the GRID Act to ensure that data center facilities don't drive up electricity bills for Missouri families. The bill would require them to use power sources separate from the public grid.
No call, no fee is the proposed rule for service providers in Illinois. KMOX's Michael Calhoun explains.
A new bill in Springfield aims to put an end to the surprise missed appointment fees from utility and repair companies. State Senator Christopher Belt is introducing a measure that would require plumbers, cable companies, and other residential service providers to be more precise with their scheduling. It would force companies to give a 1-hour notice before arriving if their appointment window is longer than 2 hours. If a provider fails to call or text ahead of time and finds an empty house, the bill bans them from billing the customer for a wasted trip. Belt says, quote, as private equity continues to buy up family businesses, we need safeguards, end quote.
Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski has introduced legislation renaming President's Day so that it honors every president who has led our great nation. Budzinski says, as the proud representative of President Lincoln's hometown, she believes a name change is appropriate. President's Day is officially called Washington's birthday, even though 4 presidents were born in February.
Kansas City police are searching for a woman caught on video setting fire to a warehouse Thursday night. The building was previously considered as a potential site for an ICE detention center. Surveillance video shows the suspect throwing a spray can and using lighter fluid to ignite the blaze.
The property owners say they had already withdrawn the site from detention center consideration. The arson follows recent moves by Kansas City officials to pass moratoriums against such federal facilities. Bomb and arson detectives are investigating, but so far no suspects are currently in custody.
Well, we told you yesterday's Daytona 500, a crazy finish, was won by Tyler Reddick with cars crashing behind him. His car owned by Michael Jordan. Let's hear from the greatest of all time, Michael,
back in
on
Victory
Fox.
Lane, Michael Jordan has made his way here. Sir, we talked before the race. 4 horses in it. You are a Daytona 500 champion. How does that sound?
I can't even believe it. Yeah, I mean, it was so gratifying. I mean, we had 4 guys that were really fighting, that was helping each other out. I mean, you never know how these races going to end, right? It's like you just try to survive. And, I thought Riley did an unbelievable job by pushing at the end. That shows you what teamwork can really, really do. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit. He won't get enough credit, but we feel the love. We understand exactly what he did. And, I mean, we just hung in there all day. I mean, we great strategy by the team, and we gave ourselves a chance at the end. And, look, I'm ecstatic. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It feels like I won a championship, but until I get my ring, I won't even know.
All right, what size ring do you wear? Did you tell
Size 13. Size 13.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it.
What a win for Michael Jordan, the team owner, 2311 Racing, along with Denny Hamlin, as Tyler Reddick wins the Daytona 500. The two, Reddick and Elliott, were battling for the win, and Chase Elliott crashed as Reddick crossed the finish line in a Toyota for 2311 Racing. To the south we go, Jupiter, Florida, and KMOX's Matt Pauley.
It was a busy Sunday at Cardinals camp as the full squad reported. While today is the first official full squad workout, the club's position players did get out for a quick session of defensive work and hitting. Manager Oliver Marmol sees value in that session, leading to today's first full squad workout.
Just kind of move around a little bit before we kick it off tomorrow, rather than physicals, rush through everything and do a workout after. It makes more sense.
On the pitching side, Quinn Matthews becomes the first pitcher to throw a live BP session meant to replicate a 2-inning outing. He was one of the first pitchers returned to minor league camp last year, but Marmol expects a longer stay for him this year.
That'll allow us to get to know him a little bit more. So that we'll read that as we get into this, but that would be a preference.
In addition to the first full squad workout today, club special assistant Yadier Molina is expected in camp prior to him managing the Puerto Rican team in the upcoming World Baseball Classic. In Jupiter, Florida at Cardinal Spring Training, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
David Mirkovich had 25 points and 7 rebounds as number 8 Illinois rebounded from back-to-back overtime losses with a 71-51 victory over Indiana yesterday in Champaign. Kylan Boswell returned for the Illini, played nearly 33 minutes. He missed 7 games with a broken right hand. He had that hand heavily taped and padded yesterday, contributed 9 points, 7 rebounds, committed just 1 turnover, played tough defense. Keaton Wagler scored 18 points for Illinois. Tomislav Ivicic had 14 for the Illini. Lamar Wilkerson led Indiana with 21 points. He scored at least 20 in 10 Big Ten games this season, but it wasn't nearly enough as Illinois rolls 71-51. Bradley won at Southern Illinois 70-60, and Illinois-Chicago, boy, they shot the lights out. They beat Illinois State 83-56. No local games on the schedule today, but tomorrow we'll look forward to 18th ranked SLU playing at Rhode Island. 6 o'clock tip-off here on KMOX. Tonight, I'll have the coaches show at Ballpark Village with SLU women's coach Rebecca Tillett. Southeast Missouri State visits Tennessee Martin tomorrow night at 7:30. The NBA All-Star Game, a new format. They played 4 round-robin tournament games, and ultimately the MVP was Anthony Edwards, the Minnesota Timberwolves star. If you still didn't like the new format, you probably just don't like All-Star games, I guess, in the NBA. They have left little to excitement, but this one, a lot of people seem to like, as Edwards came away as MVP. People still trying to adjust to these new formats. Maybe they'll just stick with one. Colin Morikawa won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and USA Hockey won again, defeating Germany 5-1. They lock up the number 2 seed at the Winter Olympics Elimination Tournament. Canada is number 1 based on goal differential. Kansas State fired their basketball coach Jerome Tang last night. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. That one has become a bit of a controversy. I'm Tom Ackerman on the voice of the Cardinals and Billikens, 104.1 FM KMOX.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. Our St. Louis Baseball Cardinals reset last season. Now they're planning for the long term. Have you thought about a long-term plan for your family? A will, a trust, powers of attorney? Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano can guide you with a personalized estate plan. Sign up for our free webinar on our website, yourestateMatters.com. Learn more about estate planning, get some answers, list your questions, then schedule a consultation. You can plan for your family, your favorite charities, taxes, your long-term care, and even your pets now, before the courts do it for you later. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, yourestateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 6:21, and you are listening to Total Information AM. Taking a look at that forecast, it's going to be pretty amazing, ladies and gentlemen. If you have the day off of work today, this is a great time to, do some yard work, go for that walk with the dog. 69 degrees with partly sunny skies, and we could see some areas of dense fog, but still 69 degrees on February 16th. Then tomorrow, 65 with cloudy skies. Wednesday, 74. But with sunshine, but then storms moving in on Thursday. It's 36 degrees out there right now.
Let's check in Jupiter, Florida, and get the latest from spring training. The Cardinals' full squad workouts begin today, and Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol has a good feel for where hitters are coming into camp.
There's just no surprises, man. There's been so much communication with our guys and visiting guys and making sure that everybody's on the same page, and the amount of videos being sent back and forth between the hitting department. It's just, we know where everybody's at. Now we get to see them in person together. Some of them we've already done that, but I'm excited to see everybody here. But we're not going to be surprised by anything.
He's keeping an eye on some up-and-coming players as well, like Brian Torres.
Understand the profile of the contact and what he brings to the table, starting to understand the person. And that's what I want to spend a little bit more time on. But we have a pretty good idea of what he's bringing to the table from a skill set standpoint.
They know a lot about pitcher Quinn Matthews. He was one of the first to throw a live BP at spring training, and keeping an eye on Matthews, who did not have a great year last year in AAA.
We take a lot out of it, and you don't want that for the player, but at the same time, you do learn a lot about the player, and sometimes it allows you to collapse time and get to the end game quicker. When you do have an experience like you had last year, you learn a lot from it. You want to make sure it's not wasted, or you take the approach of, hey, let's just forget about last year and move on. Like, I think that's the wrong approach. I think you have to actually lean into it a little bit and make sure that you have answers for it, not only physically but mentally, in order to create a framework that allows him to bounce back quicker if it were to happen again.
You remember a year ago how much people were talking about Matthews, who was just sensational in minor leagues. But last year, again, taking a step back, they expect a longer stay for him in big league camp this time around.
That'll allow us to get to know him a little bit more. So that we'll read that as we get into this, but that would be a preference.
Cardinals are big on off-season communication. They have been paying attention to what players do between the end of the season and the start of spring training.
If you're not in tune with what's coming next to help you to continue to build this thing, then I think that's a mistake. And I feel like a combination of Dusty, but also Surf and LD in the minor league, Pierpont and that group do a really nice job of making sure that everybody is communicated with. That part of it, there's a lot of confidence in.
What about the up-the-middle defense for this team?
You want to be strong at the middle, and St. Louis is no secret. you don't play good defense, people will let you know. So, so you want to have somebody you trust behind the plate. You want to be able to feel really strong about your shortstop and second base combination. You want a guy in center field that can go get it. And we're working towards all of those in a very positive way.
And let's look at that up the middle defense. Pedro Pajes behind the plate. The Cardinals are working with Ivan Herrera right now to get him back up to speed as a catcher. That was his preference. Joel Pozo, Jimmy Crooks. Down in the minor leagues, Rainiel Rodriguez, Leonardo Bernal. The Cardinals are loaded at catcher. Gold Glove shortstop Mason Wynn. And at the moment, pencil him in at second base. I think he's going to stick for sure as the starter there, and that's J.J. Weatherholt. Although they will work Weatherholt at third base this spring just to see what they have there. And in center field, the likely starter is an elite player defensively, Victor Scott II, who is working hard on his offense. In fact, he has been working on some bunting to utilize his speed to get on base more. The Cardinals have spent a lot of time with these players personally, and according to Marmol, it's hard to impact someone as a baseball player if you don't know them as a person.
It's super easy for me. Those guys really don't care what you know until they know that you care about them as people and not just the player. You have to create an environment where you can challenge them. And I think that happens more effectively when they feel like you're coming alongside of them as well. And you have to be able to do both those things. So if you don't get to know the person before just speaking into their performance as a player, I think you're really missing.
For Marmol, that has been a big motivation in his career.
It's the reason I coach. That's kind of not like what I'm passionate about. I think it's the reason probably the majority of the league coaches, you love the game, but you love people and you like being able to have an influence on them getting to where they want to get to, not only on the field, but away from there. So that's what motivates me.
Marmol has developed a good relationship with President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom. They seem to work well together in their partnership, and he's developed a very strong relationship with Yadier Molina, who will make an appearance today at spring training in Jupiter. As the Cardinals start to invite their alums back, Molina, one of the greatest catchers in the history of the game, will be in uniform and working out with players, getting them up to speed. He's also going to manage Puerto Rico in the upcoming World Baseball Classic. I'm Tom Ackerman at 627. Time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Let's talk exterior restoration. Banner Construction, the best in the business. You know, when you're doing siding and windows, you ever look around and say, we could go with someone a little cheaper. We could cut some corners and go with this person or that person. Well, the problem is if you're not going with someone reputable, somebody that doesn't know exactly what they're doing or doesn't do great work, or you don't have a history of their great work, what's going to happen is you're going to find out that they don't do great work, and by then it's going to be too late. Go with Banner Construction. They've been doing this for over 30 years. A full-service exterior home remodeler, Banner Construction. You ever look at the weathered exterior of your home and think it's time? Well, it's time. And be in line the first for spring with Banner Construction, an elite preferred James Hardy specialist and a certified Pella contractor. If you're considering new windows, new siding, Banner Construction is the call. 314-569-1050, 314-569-1050, or bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom. Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
It is 6:30, and right now in downtown St. Louis, we have mostly clear skies. It's 35 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. It's going to be a nice day today. Partly sunny, warm, high 69 degrees this afternoon. A partly cloudy sky, low 45 tonight. And tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, balmy in the afternoon. A high of 65 degrees. We're going to get up to 74 on Wednesday and 71 on Thursday, although a thunderstorm Thursday afternoon could interrupt things. Right now, it's a little chilly. It's 36 in Florissant, 36 in St. Peters, mostly clear, 35 downtown at the Arch.
Illinois State Police confirm one person died in a truck crash in Edwardsville early this morning. That truck crashed into Redmond Insurance on South Main Street. We're told the driver of a gray Chevy Silverado attempted to elude a traffic stop and then led officers on a chase, which ended in that crash. Road restrictions were put up overnight on routes 143 and 159 near South Main so investigators could complete their work.
Redmond Insurance Agency posted on social media that due to the severe damage caused by a truck crashing into their Edwardsville building, they cannot handle in-person business there. Redmond customers are urged to use their Collinsville location for all in-person assistance until further notice.
The cold rain on Saturday didn't keep hundreds of people from showing up at Saturday's Mardi Gras Grand Parade in Soulard. St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy spoke with his officers about the importance of events like Mardi Gras.
We do events like this that just showcases our city and brings more people in and how good the city is and what we have to offer.
St. Louis police didn't release any information on problems at the festivities, but they did report issuing 20 citations for underage drinking.
The President's Day ceremony is taking place this morning in Lafayette Square. Today's ceremony centers around the bronze statue of George Washington and starts at 9:30 in the Kern Lakeside Pavilion. Fox 2 reporter Laura Simon has more.
A big part of why this location at Lafayette Park matters. It was put up in 1869, and it's one of only 6 bronze castings made by a much older marble statue of Washington created in 1788 by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdin.
A wreath-laying ceremony will take place at 10, followed by a historical talk by St. Louis University professor Lori Glover.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It is 6:33.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hey, it's 6:34, and your money report is sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The Trump administration is moving ahead with a $38 billion plan to remake the U.S. immigration detention system. The plan calls for acquiring and renovating detention centers, adding processing sites, and taking control of existing facilities to create an efficient detention network and streamline removal operations. The new network is funded through congressional allocations under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Advance Auto Parts is reporting a fourth quarter net income of $6 million. The auto parts retailer posted revenue of $1.97 billion in the period. Advance Auto shares have increased 48% since the beginning of the year. Grocery prices have surged in recent years. Wallet Hub analyzed the prices of commonly purchased items at the supermarket and then compared them with each state's average household income. Those in Mississippi spend the most on groceries relative to what they earn. On the opposite end, people in Massachusetts spend the least. Matt Piper, Bloomberg Radio.
It's going to be almost 70 degrees today. So you are thinking spring for sure. And maybe you're going to go out into the yard and just start looking around. It'll be a little soggy. And you're thinking, I really should have gotten this deck redone, or I really should have done whatever it is that you would have liked to have done in your outdoor space last year. Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. So when you want quality work that's going to last for years to come and be something that you can be proud of, a thing that is going to bring your family and friends together and just make you proud of your outdoor space, Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the place to call. And if you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. That'll go a long way toward helping with your fence, your deck, your patio, your pergola, your retaining wall, your sunroom, your screen room, whatever it is, they'll do an incredible job. And again, 48 months interest-free financing. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. Find them online right now at chesterfieldfence.com.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open and happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for home ideas and family fun? Don't miss the 2026 Home Expo hosted by the Home Builders and Remodelers Association. Explore 175 plus booths. Enjoy live music, dance teams, and choirs every hour. And meet Al Raboski, former Cardinals player, on Saturday. Bring a donation for dogs or cats to the Gateway Pet Guardians booth and get an extra entry to the prize drawings, including over $25,000 in giveaways. It's free to attend February 27th through March 1st at Belle Claire Fairgrounds. Learn more at hbrmea.org.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley. I'm in Jupiter, Florida, covering Cardinals spring training as the Redbirds get ready for a new season.
Listen for Matt's Records Daily. Sponsored by St. Louis Composting and Happy Roof on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
It's 6:38. DNA recovered from a glove found near the Guthrie home that appears to match a glove worn by the suspect. The FBI says that glove was found about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's Arizona home and appears to match those worn by a masked person outside her front door the night she vanished. The glove found in a field near the side of the road was sent off for DNA testing. The discovery was revealed after investigators had released surveillance videos of the masked person outside Guthrie's front door in Tucson. Lawmakers in the White House are offering no signs of compromise in their battle of oversight of federal immigration officers.
That impasse has led to a pause in funding for the Department of Homeland Security. A partial government shutdown began Saturday after congressional Democrats and President Trump's team failed to reach a deal on legislation to fund the department through September. Democrats are demanding changes on how immigration operations are conducted after the fatal shootings of 2 U.S. citizens by federal officers in Minneapolis last month.
All right, let's check in. AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg is going to give us the forecast, but let's take a little look around the traffic and see if there's anything that's popped up. We did have a stalled vehicle earlier on 44. Now we've got a few. So 44 westbound to 100 west, that's the Washington exit. The right shoulder is closed there due to a stall. We have a new stall 70 eastbound before the Missouri River. The right shoulder is closed there as well. At 6:40, AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg, it is going to be a spectacular day for us.
It really is, Tom. We're expecting temperatures to jump into the upper 60s to just about 70 degrees today after some dense morning fog burns off. It'll be partly sunny and just downright spring-like. Tonight, partly cloudy, mid-40s. A little cloudier tomorrow, but it's still going to be breezy and very mild or high in the mid-60s. Remember, our normal high at this time of the year shouldn't be out of the 40s. Now, Wednesday will get cloudy to start, maybe a shower, and then partly to mostly sunny, breezy, and even warmer. We could get to the record of 74 instead of 1971. Sunshine, some clouds Thursday. Watch out for a strong thunderstorm or two in the afternoon and evening with potential for some hail and damaging winds, the high 71. That's a strong cold front, and behind it, it's going to be much cooler on Friday. Lots of clouds, the high only 52. Right now, it's 42 at St. Peter's, 45 in Florissant, partly cloudy, and 40 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, thanks, Joe. It is now 6:41. Data centers are no longer just a zoning issue. They are becoming a major flashpoint for the 2026 election cycle, says KMOX political analyst, Republican John Hancock.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the first election cycle coming up here in 2026 where the data center issue is going to be on the table, and we'll see how folks on the left and the right that are wary about these things.
On the Democratic side, Michael Kelly says the party is split between environmental concerns and the promise of high-paying union construction jobs.
And I think this is the beginning of a larger debate we in politics are going to be having about AI and the singularity of it and what it means to our society. And this is just the tip of the spear, but I can tell you that I don't see data centers going away. I only see them growing.
The St. Louis Board of Aldermen narrowly rejected a proposal on Friday to pause new data center development until stricter zoning rules are finalized. In Washington, D.C., Senator Josh Hawley is introducing the GRID Act to ensure data center facilities don't drive up electric bills for Missouri families. It would require data centers to use power sources separate from the public grid.
Small businesses are being targeted and exploited for a quick cash grab. That's according to Missouri Congressman Sam Graves. And the Business Journal reports more than 100 locally owned businesses across Missouri have been the target of lawsuits from lawyers who claim the company websites are out of compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
In Jefferson City, the Act Against Abusive Website Access litigation would give businesses 90 days to alter their websites before a lawsuit can ensue. A Kansas City deli owner testified before a House committee that the letter he received did not specify how his website was out of ADA compliance. Businesses are reportedly spending tens of thousands of dollars to settle.
St. Louis City SC and the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra celebrated the soccer team's new road jersey with a concert last night at Powell Hall. Musical artists paid tribute to the inspiration behind the gold-colored kit with a concert of the late Tina Turner's music.
Headliner Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes told the crowd about how, as a youth, Howard's mother begged her to watch the St. Louis native on television.
There's this woman on the screen. She's flinging her hair. She's stomping her legs. She's like a wild animal. I was like, wow. Mom, who is that? She said, that's Tina Turner. You didn't know about her. And I said, okay. We watched it together. She said, you know, her legs are insured. And I don't know if that's true. I still don't know if that's true.
Another St. Louis area native sang some of Tina's song Sunday night, Kennedy Holmes, who and came to fame on The Voice.
That's awesome. I know we're talking about vocals when it comes to Brittany Howard, but she is a phenomenal guitar player.
Oh.
Like one of the best in the world.
Okay.
I'd put her in the top 100.
Wow.
Yeah, she is absolutely incredible. That's pretty cool. I mean, St. Louis City SC they don't mess around. When they roll out a new uniform, they don't just put it up for sale.
We're going to give you a whole
We're going to
concert.
throw a party at Powell Hall with Brittany Howard and Kennedy Holmes and everybody else. That's pretty exciting. It's coming up on 6:45. By the way, we will have St. Louis City SC's opener on Y98 FM on Saturday. We have 3 games going at the same time on Saturday, all in one day. We have the Cardinals playing their spring training opener on KMOX. That'll be on 104.1 FM. On 11:20 a.m., yes, we can do that now. We can put 2 different games on KMOX. 11:20 a.m., we will have the SLU women's basketball game at Chaffetz Arena. I'll have that call on Saturday afternoon. John Rooney, Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne on the baseball call on 104.1 FM. And then Y98 FM will have Joey Zanaboni and Dale Schilly and Jen Cease and the gang from Energizer Park. St. Louis City SC's season gets underway. Let's go to baseball right now, and KMOX's Matt Pauley is at the spring training home in Jupiter, Florida.
Barring an unexpected power surge, the Cardinals are not likely to hit a lot of home runs this season. Manager Oliver Marmol says you have to look at the skill set of every player and lean into what they do well, and he's hopeful that could result in some more stolen bases.
We have different skill sets, and we have to be able to utilize them properly. And we do have some guys that can run. We have some guys that can run more than they have in the past. We got some guys that now feel healthy in order to do so.
And full squad workouts begin today. Yadier Molina, who threw out a lot of base runners in his career, is going to be in uniform and helping out as he joins as a special instructor. He has also been recently hired as a special advisor, one of the great Cardinals of all time, Yadier Molina, and they'll just start rolling in as the Cardinals welcome in their great alumni. Let's go now to the Daytona 500, just to the north of Jupiter, and the call on Fox. What a finish.
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. This is the one you want to lead. If the caution comes out, it's over. Hocevar in the wall, turned around in front of the field. Around goes Jones. Ricky Stenhouse to the front. Elliott around the outside. Still green. Reddick on the bottom. Reddick, Elliott. The help's on the outside. Here comes Chase Elliott. Can it be?
Yes,
Chase
Dennis.
Elliott.
Stuck in the middle with no help.
Zane Smith with him. On the bottom is Tyler Reddick. They come up single file. Zane Smith's going to have one shot at Chase Elliott, NASCAR champion, most popular driver, trying for the win, and Reddick to the top side. He's got help. Riley Herbst, his teammate. Reddick drops to the bottom. Alongside Elliott, in the wall goes Herbst, and Tyler Reddick comes to the line. Wow. A shower of sparks behind him.
A wild crash as Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick battle for that final spot, and it is Reddick who gets the win for Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, winning the Daytona 500 in a car owned by Jordan and Hamlin. The one to the checkered flag is Reddick after Chase Elliott crashed. Reddick driving a Toyota for 2311 Racing. Jordan was the face of the December federal antitrust lawsuit that NASCAR settled on the 9th day of trial. That settlement changed the revenue sharing model in the United States Top Motorsports Series, and that series will be back in St. Louis once again, Worldwide Technology Raceway, September 11th through the 13th. The playoff race for NASCAR Cup will be right here in Madison, Illinois, the Enjoy Illinois 300 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Colin Morikawa wins the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Had to wait more than 2 years to win again, so I guess he didn't mind having to wait 20 minutes on the 18th hole to try to make a birdie. He shot a 67 to win by one shot over Sepp Straka and Minwoo Lee in the cold wind at Pebble Beach. He also had to respond to a Sunday charge by Scotty Scheffler. The world's number one player made 3 eagles in his round of 63. He settled for an 18th consecutive top 10. Scheffler and Morikawa, and you got to imagine some other huge names, will be in St. Louis in August for the BMW Championship. That's part of the FedEx Cup playoff series on the PGA Tour. Illinois with a very impressive win in dominating fashion at home. They beat up Indiana 71-51 yesterday. David Mirkovic, 25 points and 7 rebounds. Kylan Boswell was back for the Illini. He had, 9.7 rebounds, just 1 turnover. He missed 7 games with a broken right hand, and he was out there playing great defense with that hand heavily taped and padded. USA Hockey beats Germany 5-1. I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals in Billikens, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Being first in line can be very important to homeowners. First in line for the plumber, first in line for the HVAC guy, first at Banner Construction. It's Banner Construction's winter home event, and you can be the first in line this spring and save before the annual price increases. Banner Construction is a James Hardy and Pella replacement windows specialist, and now is the best time to schedule a free in-home consultation with no obligation. Call 314-569-1050 or check them out on the web at bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
Celebrate jazz legend John Coltrane with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in a special one-night-only event, Coltrane 100 Legacy. Celebrate Coltrane's creative genius through powerful orchestral arrangements of his most groundbreaking works. Curated and arranged by acclaimed composer Carlos Simon, this performance features saxophone icon Joe Lovano in a journey from Coltrane's early classics to his late visionary masterpieces. It's jazz, symphony, and legacy, all in one unforgettable night with your St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. February 28th at 7:30 p.m. at Powell Hall. Tickets at slso.org.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history. From moment to memory.
President George Bush is on his way to St. Louis right now.
Among those voices, Ron Jacober.
Welcome back to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Now the news at 1, the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 6:51. It is President's Day, so hopefully you'll have a chance to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather if you have off of work today. Most kids have off of school today, and what does that forecast have in store for us? Well, some areas of dense fog this morning, but other than that, partly sunny and a high of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and 65. 74 on Wednesday with increasing amounts of sunshine, and we'll start Thursday with sunshine and building clouds, a high of 71 on Thursday, but then some thunderstorms are going to move through. Some could be severe, and that'll move the warm air right out of the area so that Friday will be in the low 50s. Right now in downtown St. Louis, it's clear and 35 degrees.
The news continues at 6:52. A Missouri man is on the FBI's most wanted list for an alleged $220 million cattle fraud scheme. Federal prosecutors say Joshua Link and 4 others defrauded thousands of victims through a Texas-based company.
Investigators say the group used new investor money to pay off earlier clients and cover personal expenses. 4 suspects are currently in custody, but Link remains a fugitive at this point. If convicted, the suspects could face up to 20 years in federal prison for each count of wire fraud.
Flying nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean in the spirit of St. Louis made Charles Lindbergh the most famous man in the world for many years.
Married my grandmother, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, and they charted routes all around the world, doing something nobody had ever done before. And they came to know that this technology that could connect us over large distances could also harm our quality of life.
That's Eric Lindbergh, their grandson and chairman of the Lindbergh Foundation, which moved here in 2024. He says Charles and Ann shared that concern with astronauts, including Neil Armstrong and Jim Lovell, who formed the Lindbergh Foundation in 1977. Next year marks the 100th anniversary of that famous flight across the Atlantic. Eric Lindbergh says the foundation plans a big announcement of their next big mission.
A downtown St. Louis entertainment district is taking shape. State legislation allowing such a district was signed into law last summer. Now, Alderman Jamie Cox-Antwi and Rasheen Aldridge have introduced a bill that would establish the downtown St. Louis Sports and Entertainment Community Improvement District that would include most of downtown and downtown west.
That district would be funded by the state with $2.5 million a year going into it at first. Cox-Antwi says the district will create new tools for state resources to be invested downtown and would be governed by a board of directors appointed by the mayor.
The Session Taco in St. Charles closed its doors on Friday. It'll reopen in a few months as Sobre Mesa. According to the owners, the menu will keep many favorites, but add soups, salads, fajitas, and other items.
Also, that situation, that local restaurant chain was in growth mode in 2023, if you recall, when they were hit by a trademark lawsuit and had to change their name from Mission Taco to Session Taco. Since then, they've closed 6 restaurants and rebranded the Central West End location as La Pez Mode Mex. It's Mod Mex. It's 6:55.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
Happy birthday to John McEnroe. The tennis Hall of Famer is 67 today, and it's a big birthday for him. We're going to keep an eye on some other ones that are rolling along here, but no big ones other that I can see other than McEnroe. Let's see what you've got locally, Debbie.
Yeah, the local celebrity birthdays are sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. How do I get a birthday or anniversary announced in this segment, you may ask? Just email us at totalam@KMOX.com, totalam@KMOX.com. Happy birthday wishes going out to Charlie Smith of Shiloh, Gene Wilson, also Jeff Fernhoff, Chris Robinson from the Retiree Group, Seal Shannon from your class of 78 IWA friends. Happy Valentine birthday to Wendy Barrow, and happy birthday wishes to Byron Kerman.
It's the best birthday ever.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
You know, there are some things that you can do yourself and save yourself some money. And then there are the times when you really do need an expert. And I would say selling your home is one of those times. And the expert I highly recommend is Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you tried selling your home last year and it didn't work out, or you're thinking about selling your home this year and you're not really sure who to ask, well, in today's real estate market, the agent you choose matters more than ever. Gloria Liu, for years you've been hearing me talk about her. And why do I tell you to call Gloria? Because Gloria will guarantee that she'll sell your home. She'll guarantee it in writing. You can go ahead and make your phone calls, interview other agents. I don't think you're going to find people who will guarantee to sell your home. Also, she will sell your home at 100% of market value, or she'll pay you the difference. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. You can call her and ask all the questions you want. Maybe you want to know, what do you think you could sell my house for? Should I redo my kitchen? All the things. She's happy to talk. 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or find her online right now at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, "Please, God, no."
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Use daily. One platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about EasyCater or start an order at easycater.com.
Got some traffic issues to tell you about. First of all, a crash 55 northbound before 141. This is in Arnold. The 3 left lanes are closed there, so 2 lanes are getting by, but a crash 55 northbound before 141 has a pretty significant backup of about a mile or so right now, so just be aware of that as you move along. We also have some stalls to tell you about. A stalled vehicle 70 westbound past 141. The right shoulder is closed there. And eastbound 364 at the Maryland Heights Expressway, a stalled vehicle is blocking the right shoulder. As for our news today, we have the following making news with a partly cloudy sky and 36 degrees downtown. Illinois State Police confirms 1 person died in a truck crash in an Edwardsville early morning crash. The truck crashed into a Redmond Insurance building on South Main Street. We'll have more at 7:04.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. We'll have some dense fog in the area for a while this morning. A mix of sun and clouds today and warm this afternoon, high 69.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 18 days and still no sign of Nancy Guthrie. Her daughter, the Today Show's Savannah Guthrie, has posted a new video plea to her kidnapper.
You're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing.
Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is covering the investigation from Tucson.
This morning now, perhaps a major break in the case. I spoke with the sheriff yesterday. He confirms that investigators are now reviewing surveillance video from all local Walmarts. They believe all of the clothing, including that backpack and face mask, came from the same retailer, possibly from the same store, and possibly made in store.
The FBI is also processing male DNA from a pair of black gloves found near the scene. There's no visible end in sight to a partial government shutdown that began Saturday over Democrats' demands for reforms to immigration enforcement. Republican Markwayne Mullin tells CNN,
they're not stopping ICE from doing their job. They're not stopping the Border Patrol from doing their job. All this is a political theater because the State of the Union is coming up.
Congress is in recess all week, so full government funding may not be in place before the president delivers his annual State of the Union address a week from tomorrow. Former President Obama has responded indirectly to a racist video posted by President Trump that showed Mr. Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as cartoon apes.
The majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling.
In responding to a question about the video from podcaster Brian Tyler Cohen, the former president said there's a, quote, clown show happening.
You had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost.
President Trump has refused to apologize for the video. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Extreme drought is fueling dozens of fires across central Florida. Jeffrey Smith woke up to the smell of smoke in Osceola County.
I came out the house and all I seen was just a black cloud of smoke. And people start calling me and saying, they're evacuating. There's a big fire going on.
Multiple fires burning near Port Orange and Daytona Beach temporarily shut down part of I-95. Lindsey Vonn is apparently back in the U.S. or on her way after she broke her leg on her first run at the Winter Olympics in Italy. CBS's Seth Doan is in Cortina.
We reached out to the hospital here in Italy where she had those 4 successful surgeries. This morning, they told us that she had been discharged. We last heard from the skier Saturday night when she posted online that she would be sharing more when she got home from the U.S.
Markets closed for President's Day. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
It is 7:04, and we've got sunshine in downtown St. Louis, 36 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Government offices, the stock market, schools all closed today in observance of President's Day. Most big retailers are open. When in doubt, you can call ahead or look up more specific schedules online for stores in your neighborhood. National parks are open and free to U.S. residents on President's Day.
We're awaiting more details from Illinois State Police about a fatal crash that happened overnight in Edwardsville when a pickup truck crashed into Redmond Insurance Agency on South Main. That brought an end to a police pursuit of that vehicle. No officers were injured in the crash, but the building has major damage.
Redmond Insurance Agency posted on social media that due to the severe damage caused by a truck crashing into their Edwardsville building, they cannot handle in-person business there. Redmond customers are urged to use their Collinsville location for all in-person assistance until further notice.
Jefferson County Sheriff Dave Marshak says a murder suspect is dead after taking his own life in a Festus hotel. 69-year-old Bill Mormon was found dead Sunday morning following a standoff with police that lasted several hours. Sheriff Marshak says Mormon shot, stabbed, and killed 46-year-old Marion Ludwig Saturday afternoon in a home in the 2600 block of Winding Valley Drive in Fenton.
Guests were evacuated from the Festus Holiday Inn Express and were taken to the Festus C6 School District for safety. Marshak says Mormon and Ludwig knew each other, but their relationship is unclear. Mormon's body was found with the use of a drone. Marshak says Mormon had served time in Minnesota for a previous murder.
The St. Louis City Police Department's Force Investigation Unit is looking into a death that resulted from a trip to the hospital after the man was found to be behaving erratically in public. Police say 29-year-old Mark Smith was detained by a security guard Thursday. Since there was no ambulance readily available, police officers decided to take Smith to the hospital in the back of a police van. It was during that ride that Smith allegedly rammed his head into a metal screen enough times to knock himself out, and then police say Smith died in a hospital Saturday.
Illinois lawmakers are looking to crack down on the 5-hour window for home service calls.
State Senator Christopher Belt says he's tired of waiting around all day for the cable guy. And he thinks you probably are too. The Swansea Democrat introduced Senate Bill 3066, which would force service providers to stop giving customers vague multi-hour arrival estimates. Under the new proposal, companies would have to provide a specific 2-hour window for appointments. If a tech can't narrow it down that much, the bill mandates they have to at least call or text the customer 1 hour before they actually arrive. Belt says the legislation is necessary to protect consumers from giant corporations that buy up local family businesses and then force grandfathered customers to wait all day for service. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
It is 7:07, and Missouri Senator Hawley makes a social media post encouraging people to apply to the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act for those who qualify and haven't yet.
For $40 million so far, $40 million just to Missouri has gone out. And I will tell you that this is available to every person in the state of Missouri who's been exposed to nuclear radiation.
Hawley says apply online, and if you need help, to contact the senator's office.
From the KMOX business desk, a downtown St. Louis entertainment district is taking shape. State legislation allows such a district, signed into law last summer, and now Alderman Jamie Cox-Antwi and Rasheen Aldridge have introduced a bill that would establish the downtown St. Louis Sports and Entertainment Community Improvement District. That would include most of downtown and downtown west.
That district would be funded by the state with $2.5 million a year going into it at first. Cox-Antwi says the district will create new tools for state resources to be invested downtown and would be governed by a board of directors appointed by the mayor.
7:08, we'll check traffic and weather next.
Meet Linda. She's stuck in a school pickup line, thinking about what to make for dinner. Are the kids' practice jerseys clean? If she sent out that last email before leaving work. But you know what she's not thinking about? her HVAC system. Linda is a preferred partner with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. Members get 2 HVAC system checks per year. We clean and inspect your HVAC systems at each visit. Partners also get priority service and exclusive discounts starting at just $19 per month. Life is chaos, but with Air Comfort Service, you'll have peace of mind with your HVAC system. Visit aircomfortservice.com today. After all, comfort is our middle name.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is 7:10 and most people have the day off today. So the traffic is pretty nice, actually. Not a whole lot of traffic in downtown St. Louis. Let's get you updated on the forecast, the very latest from Joe Lundberg.
KMOX AccuWeather. There's some dense fog around the area for a while this morning. Otherwise, it'll turn out partly sunny today and warmer this afternoon with a high of 69. Partly cloudy tonight, though 45. For tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, but breezy and very mild at the afternoon, high 65. The Wednesday clouds break for more and more sunshine. Breezy and unseasonably warm with a high near the record of 74 set in 1971. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
36 degrees right now with sunshine.
We do have an issue of 55 northbound in Arnold at 141, 55 northbound. A crash there, and we talked about it just before the 7 o'clock news. That continues to be an issue. We got a backup of a couple of miles at this point. 55 northbound at 141. They have 3 lanes closed, a couple getting by. Just use your patience if you're traveling northbound on 55 this morning.
A President's Day ceremony taking place this morning in Lafayette Square. The ceremony centers around the bronze statue of George Washington in Lafayette Park. That starts at 9:30 at the Kern Lakeside Pavilion. Fox 2's Laura Simon has more.
And that statue, a big part of why this location at Lafayette Park matters. It was put up in 1869, and it's one of only 6 bronze castings made by a much older marble statue of Washington created in 1788 by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdin.
A wreath-laying ceremony will take place at 10, followed by a historic talk by St. Louis University professor Lori Glover.
The longtime partner of Joe Edwards in business and in life has passed away. Linda Kennedy Edwards passed away yesterday. She was 79. She grew up in the Skinker to Bolivar neighborhood. Linda met Joe in 1972. They opened Blueberry Hill together, revitalizing the Del Mar Loop. In 1986, she began her corner window displays. Her daughter Hope even published a book called The Window Display Art of Linda Edwards at Blueberry Hill.
Grammy Award-winning singer Brittany Howard paid tribute to a legend last night at Powell Hall. The Alabama Shakes vocalist joined with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra for a showcase to kick off the new St. Louis City SC soccer season in the team's new road jersey. if you haven't seen it yet, is a gold jersey with a Tina Turner theme and her autograph on the back. The late Rock and Roll Hall of Famer spent some of her formative years in St. Louis and graduated from Sumner High School.
On this President's Day, former President Barack Obama is giving a hint about what will be included in his presidential center, set to open in Chicago this June. Mr. Obama spoke with NBC's Reggie Miller Sunday night, said his love of basketball will certainly be part of the museum experience.
One thing that it will have, is a full court basketball court. And we intend to have all kinds of activities because sports is an entryway for kids to participate, to build community, to create some joy.
The museum will also have a recording studio, a public library, and a replica of former First Lady Michelle Obama's garden. More information on the Obama Presidential Center can be found at obama.org.
The Session Taco in St. Charles closed its doors on Friday. It'll reopen in a few months as Sobre Mesa. According to the owners, the menu will keep many favorites, but add soups, salads, fajitas, and other items. The local restaurant chain was in growth mode in 2023 when they were hit with a trademark lawsuit and had to change their name from Mission Taco to Session Taco. Since then, they've closed 6 restaurants and rebranded the Central West End location as Lopez Mod Mex.
It's 7:15. Let's talk some baseball.
Now, a St. Louis Cardinals spring training report. Sponsored by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And by Happy Roof. We always create happy endings on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
It was a busy Sunday at Cardinals camp as the full squad reported. While today is the first official full squad workout, the club's position players did get out for a quick session of defensive work and hitting. Manager Oliver Marmol sees value in that session, leading to today's first full squad workout.
Just kind of move around a little bit before we kick it off tomorrow, rather than physicals, rush through everything.
Sponsored by On the pitching side, Quinn Matthews becomes the first pitcher to throw a live BP session meant to replicate a 2-inning outing. He was one of the first pitchers returned to minor league camp last year, but Marmol expects a longer stay for him this year.
That'll allow us to get to know him a little bit more. So that we'll read that as we get into this, but that would be a preference.
In addition to the first full squad workout today, club special assistant Yadier Molina is expected in camp prior to him managing the Puerto Rican team in the upcoming World Baseball Classic. In Jupiter, Florida at Cardinal Spring Training, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Well, Barack Obama might have been at the NBA All-Star Game. Michael Jordan was at the Daytona 500. He owns the car driven by Tyler Reddick, who was able to make it through. He led just one lap the entire race, and that was the final lap. As Chase Elliott crashed behind him, Reddick crossed the finish line and the checkered flag as the champion. And Jordan, who along with Denny Hamlin owns that car in 2311 Racing, is a champ.
Well, back in victory lane, Michael Jordan has made his way here. Sir, we talked before the race. 4 horses in it. You are a Daytona 500 champion. How does that sound?
I can't even believe it. Yeah, I mean, it was so gratifying. I mean, we had 4 guys that were really fighting, that was helping each other out. I mean, you never know how these races going to end, right? It's like you just try to survive. And, you know, I thought Riley did an unbelievable job by pushing at the end. You know, that shows you what teamwork can really, really do. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit. He won't get enough credit, but we feel the love. We understand exactly what he did. And, I mean, we just hung in there all day. I mean, we great strategy by the team, and we gave ourselves a chance at the end. And, look, I'm ecstatic. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It feels like I won a championship, but until I get my ring, I won't even know.
All right, what size ring do you wear? Did you tell me?
Size 13.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Michael Jordan and to Daytona 500 champion Tyler Reddick. David Mirkovich had 25 points and 7 rebounds as number 8 Illinois rebounded from back-to-back overtime losses with a 71-51 win over Indiana yesterday in Champaign. Kylan Boswell was back. He returned after missing 7 games with a broken right hand. He played 33 minutes with that hand heavily taped and padded. 9 points, 7 rebounds, committed just 1 turnover, played great defense. Keaton Wagler had 18 points for Illinois. Tomislav Ivasic had 14. Lamar Wilkerson, 21 points for Indiana in the losing effort. Elsewhere in college basketball, it was Southern Illinois losing at home to Bradley, 70-60 in Missouri Valley Conference play. And UIC, they are a team to watch in the upcoming Arch Madness, March 5th through the 8th at Enterprise Center. They ripped Illinois State 83-56. SLU plays tomorrow. The Billikens will be taking on Rhode Island at 6 o'clock on the road. SLU ranked 18th in the country. The new top 25 will come out this afternoon. We'll talk about it on the Gas House Gang with Bob Ramsey. Also, Colin Morikawa won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and USA Hockey won again. They beat Germany 5-1. They are the number 2 seed. Number 1 is Canada in the upcoming elimination tournament at the Winter Olympics. I'm Tom Ackerman on the voice of the Cardinals and Billikens, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Create the ultimate raised bed garden with St. Louis Composting. Our premium compost and soil mixes are perfect for filling the raised beds you'll enjoy building, and even better for growing fresh, homegrown veggies. Imagine harvesting your own tomatoes, peppers, and cilantro for fresh salsa the whole family can enjoy. And with delivery right to your door, getting started has never been easier. Visit stlcompost.com to order a convenient delivery from your phone in seconds, or stop by one of our 9 locations in the St. Louis area. St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories.
Winter is tough on homes. Ice and wind often lead hidden damage you can't see from the ground. Don't wait for the first spring showers to discover a leak. Get the Happy Roofers Spring Readiness Checkup today. We perform a thorough, risk-free inspection to ensure your roof is solid. With our Spring Smile Guarantee, you get guaranteed workmanship and total peace of mind. We always deliver happy endings. Visit thehappyroofer.com or call 314-665-3001.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:21. This is Total Information AM. I'm Debbie Monterey along with Tom Ackerman. Weather-wise, we are looking at a couple of beautiful days before storms on Thursday return us to colder weather. Not even that cold, to be honest, but today 69 degrees, partly sunny skies, mostly cloudy tomorrow, 65. For Wednesday, a high near the record of 74. That record was set back in 1971. So we'll have lots of sunshine then. Then on Thursday, those thunderstorms, some of them could be severe with hail and damaging winds. So we'll have a high 71 on Thursday. But then by Friday, those storms will have moved the warm air out. 52. Still 52 in February. Can't really complain too much about that. Right now, it's sunny and 36 degrees.
We are dealing with a backup 55 northbound as you approach 141. Still a significant backup in the Arnold area. We'll keep an eye on that. For the past 33 years, Joe DeTore has really delivered for people in Damaris, New Jersey, both in their mailboxes and their personal lives. Here's Steve Hartman with his story on the road.
Folks in Damaris, New Jersey packed into a local restaurant recently, all of them wanting a picture, or better yet, a hug, from Joe DeTore.
Take care of yourself.
Because for the past 33 years, Joe has really delivered for the people in this community. I mean, he has really delivered. But now Joe the mailman is retiring, and oh, how he will be missed.
Joe knows about when I've had medical issues.
He knows if I've left my garage door open at the wrong time. If he sees something wrong, he'll call you, text you. I would
seriously list him as an emergency contact.
Before becoming a mailman in 1992, Joe owned a small business, painting houses. And although he loved helping people, he hated charging them. So he found a job where he could still be the person he wanted to be, just for free.
I always tell people I'm around if you need me.
People need like help with a little errand.
If it's in town, yeah, I mean.
But beyond being a helpful hand and watchful eye, Joe has been a real source of comfort for many in Demarest, like Erin Kitsey. When Erin's beloved dog Cooper died, she told Joe first, and then he gifted her this bracelet with her dog's name on it.
I love my dad, but like if I honestly sort of like see him like a father figure.
Layla, what's up, puppy?
And for all those years of seemingly small acts of kindness.
Oh,
I'm gonna miss you so much.
I'm gonna miss you
I think
too.
Layla's gonna miss you.
Residents wanted to make sure Joe knew just how much it truly meant.
He just genuinely cares.
And in response, we care for him.
He doesn't know how to be any other way.
I hope that I can come by and check in on everybody occasionally.
So you're still going to do the route basically?
Oh
visit
my
people.
God, I'm not. I have to, I can't just say goodbye.
Just won't have the mail with you.
Exactly,
Because when you care that deeply, people often respond in kind.
They say you get back what you give, but in my case, I received it tenfold. I will miss you. What the heck you say?
Handle with care, a motto for packages and people. Steve Hartman on the road in Demarest, New Jersey.
It is 7:25. Flying nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean in the spirit of St. Louis made Charles Lindbergh the most famous man in the world for many years.
He then married my grandmother, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, and they charted routes all around the world, doing something nobody had ever done before. And they came to know that this technology that could connect us over large distances could also harm our quality of life.
That's Eric Lindbergh, their grandson and chairman of the Lindbergh Foundation, which moved here in 2024. He says Charles and Anne shared that concern with astronauts, including Neil Armstrong and Jim Lovell, who formed the Lindbergh Foundation in 1977. Next year marks the 100th anniversary of that famous flight across the Atlantic. Eric Lindbergh says the foundation plans a big announcement of their next big mission. You can hear more coming up at 8:11.
A bill to create a specialized security force for schools moves forward in the Missouri legislature. The Missouri Rangers program would provide high-intensity tactical training for citizens, veterans, and retired officers. Republican Senator David Gregory says the program is entirely optional, allowing districts to certify existing staff or bring in qualified volunteers.
Schools can pay for their SRO police officer to go become a ranger, like a heightened certification, or they can just go get a volunteer, a young grandpa or a dad or anyone else who's willing to come in one day a week. It's totally flexible.
Jefferson County Undersheriff Lieutenant Colonel Tim Whitney is in favor of the bill. He says having a specialized responder on site is critical when every second counts.
You're still going to have your police, and your police are still going to respond, but in an active shooter incident, we know what happens, right? It takes police minutes to get there, and a lot of bad things happen in minutes. And so to have people there that are able to respond in seconds and are trained and capable.
The bill cleared its first committee with a unanimous vote.
It is now 7:27, and the time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
St. Louis Public Library is one of my favorite places for so many reasons. Of course, Central Library is one of the most beautiful buildings we have. And then there are all the neighborhood branches. They have the creative experience at the Bar Branch and Central Library. And if you visit, it's like a maker space. There, you can record your podcast there. You can work with your group there and all plug in at the same time with these great screens to move things around. They've got sewing machines. You can do embroidery, 3D printing. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And this is all free with your St. Louis Public Library card, which, by the way, you can get if you're a St. Louis City resident, a St. Louis County resident, or a St. Charles County resident. And all those expensive subscriptions you have for newspapers, magazines, genealogy, audiobooks, you don't even need that. You can save money by just getting all of that at St. Louis Public Library. If you have any questions, just pop in or log on to slpl.org. St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine.
Hey, Happy New Year, big boy. Hey, what's up, Izzy? Also known as the Kool-Aid Man. You got any New Year's resolutions?
I got one, Eddie. I've promised myself to spend more time on that toasty, warm, huge, heated outdoor patio of yours. It's nothing like having your coat off, drinking the coldest beer in town with hundreds of your family, friends.
Man, it is a toasted patio, and that's a great resolution. And, thanks for not mentioning things like weight loss and health kick. And those would be hard in Fast Eddie's. It'd be hard to lose any kind of weight or take away from anything when you got the 5-pound Fat Eddie burger, the hot chick on a stick, that big Elwood on a stick, and those succulent peel-and-eat shrimp.
Yeah, I am not losing any weight hanging around your place. I learned it's a lot easier just to make those resolutions simple and fun, buddy.
Man, and that's easy. You're right. That's a great resolution. So make your resolution fun. And head on over to Fast Eddie's Bon Air. You know where to go across that big, beautiful Clark Bridge and come into Alton, Illinois. So like Mr. Shannon always said, if you're 21 and in the mood, we'll see you at Fast Eddie's Bon Air.
Kool-Aid Man.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from,
we can be twinsies,
to,
how was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. There are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
At 7:30, we have clear skies. Sun is shining in downtown St. Louis. Still a little chilly, but it's going to warm up today. It's 36 degrees.
That's Tom Ackerman. I'm Debbie Monterey. And 36 degrees now, but 69 degrees by later this afternoon with partly sunny skies. We do have some areas of dense fog in the listening area. I'm sure that's probably burned off by now, but in case you're just waking up. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, 65. Wednesday, 74 is what we could hit. And if we do hit that, that'll tie a record set back in 1971. 71 degrees on Thursday, but we'll have some severe storms moving through. That'll cool things down for Friday. But right now, it is really lovely downtown, sunny and 36 degrees.
And it looks like they've cleared that crash, 55 northbound at 141 in the Arnold area. Traffic is moving well now on 55 northbound. Illinois State Police confirm one person died in a truck crash in an Edwardsville location yesterday. The truck crashed into a Redmond Insurance building on South Main Street. We're told the driver of a gray Chevy Silverado attempted to elude a traffic stop, led officers on a chase, ending in the crash. Road restrictions were put up overnight on routes 143 and 159 near South Main so investigators could complete their work. Further details on the crash are still pending.
Illinois State Police let's move on to Festus. A homicide suspect is dead following a standoff with Jefferson County SWAT at a Festus hotel. Detectives tracking down 69-year-old Bill Mormon to a Holiday Inn Express in connection with a woman's death in Fenton. After hours of negotiations, officers found the suspect dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside his room on Sunday morning.
Sheriff Marshak says Mormon shot, stabbed, and killed 46-year-old Marin Ludwig Saturday afternoon in a home in Fenton. He says Mormon and Ludwig knew each other, but the relationship is unclear. The sheriff's office says no shots were fired by law enforcement during the incident, and the hotel was evacuated for several hours.
The Save America Act has passed the U.S. House. It now heads to the Senate for debate. The controversial legislation has stirred up a lot of debate. If passed, it will require voters to present proof of citizenship at the polls.
The Save America Act is built on a lie, the lie that the 2020 election was stolen.
Missouri's Congressman Wesley Bell on the House floor says President Trump is still trying to overturn the 2020 election, which he lost.
That lie has been investigated, litigated, audited, and debunked over and over again. But instead of accepting reality, the authors of this bill are using that lie as an excuse to take control of our elections.
Bell says the Save America Act bill is not on the level and adds, quote, "Let's be honest about where this is coming from the president himself." Maria Aquino, KMOX News.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It's 7:34, your Money Minute next.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
It is 7:35, time for your Money Minute. It's sponsored this hour by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. A key measure of consumer inflation fell to a nearly 5-year low last month as apartment rent price growth slowed. Prices at the gas pump fell, along with the cost of used cars, furniture, and auto insurance. And that good news about easing price pressures led investors to believe that the Federal Reserve could lower interest rates as many as 3 times this year. That sent stocks higher, at least for most of today's session. And at the closing bell, the Dow was 49 points higher. The NASDAQ, though, was down 50, the S&P ahead by 3. Gold prices back above the 5,000 mark today. Silver was higher as well. And the Trump administration moving ahead with a more than $38 billion plan to remake the U.S. immigration detention system. That includes acquiring and renovating 16 detention centers, adding processing sites, and taking control of 10 existing facilities to streamline the removal of those they say are in the U.S. illegally. And the largest facilities can hold as many as 10,000 people. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
For nearly 100 years, Busey Wealth Management has helped families and businesses make smart financial decisions that stand the test of time. From personalized investment plans to tax strategies that work for you, we take a big picture approach, connecting you with the right experts to help protect what you've built and plan for what's next. Busey Wealth Management, here for every chapter of your financial story.
St. Louis has a voice.
This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
The St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions.
From moment to memory.
Now there is only one Berlin.
Among those voices, Wendy Weiss.
We'll have more on the troop deployment to Bosnia.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
I get the opportunity to host a lot of things at the Missouri Athletic Club, from the Jack Buck Awards to the USBWA Awards, most recently the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, participate in the Baseball Writers Dinner, and on and on. They're all just special events throughout the year. This one means a lot to be able to host this event with Alberto Musalem. He is the president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. The next MAC speaker series is February 25th in our downtown clubhouse. And Mr. Musalem, the president and CEO of the Fed here in St. Louis, will discuss the role of the Federal Reserve Bank in the St. Louis region, recent economic trends, the outlook for the U.S. economy, U.S. monetary policy as well. It's going to be an exciting day on February 25th, and we have lunch with the president of the St. Louis Fed, Alberto Musalem. This is all on our website, mac-stl.org. MAC Clayton's about to open, by the way. Later this spring is the expected opening. It's the Missouri Athletic Club.
Mozart's The Magic Flute comes to life in concert with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Under the baton of music director Stefan Deneve, hear one of Mozart's most brilliant scores performed in all its richness, with the St. Louis Symphony Chorus and St. Louis Children's Choirs bringing its unforgettable characters to life. February 20th and 22nd at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Nicholas joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
It is now 7:39, and Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski says she's introduced legislation renaming President's Day so that it honors every president who has led our great nation. Budzinski says, as the proud representative of President Lincoln's home state, she believes a name change is appropriate. President's Day is officially called Washington's birthday, even though 4 presidents were born in February.
Well, that's interesting because I always call it President's Day, and I have never called it Washington's birthday. I know it was Washington's birthday.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday.
Now, but hasn't it always been President's Day?
I guess
and
not.
We honor all presidents?
I guess not officially.
Oh.
So officially, it's still on the books as Washington's birthday.
Well, speaking of Illinois, if I was picking a favorite president, it would be Lincoln. Lincoln's a personal favorite. 7:40. This is my grandma is from Salem, Illinois, and when I was growing up, she was like the town historian, and all she talked about was President Lincoln, where he was. He was in Salem here, and he lived there, and she tracked him all throughout the state. It was fun growing up around that. I also did really well in history.
Also, when we
school.
were at One Memorial Drive, when KMOX was still there was a plaque in the lobby that said Abraham Lincoln slept here. Not in that building, but on that site, apparently.
He was everywhere. I'll bet you he went through some very, very cold Februaries, AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg, but not today.
I'm sure he did, but we're looking today at temperatures getting into the upper 60s to almost 70 degrees. That's about 20 plus above the norm for this time of the year. To put it in perspective, we'll have to deal with some fog for the next hour or two. That should disperse, then partly sunny. Tonight, partly cloudy, mid-40s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, but still breezy, very mild or high 65. But wait, it gets even warmer. Wednesday, clouds give way to sunshine. It'll become breezy and balmy, mid-70s. The record is 74 in 1971. I think it's a sitting duck. Even Thursday is going to be warm. Sunshine in the morning will give way to some building clouds in the afternoon. And I say building because I think they're building into thunderstorms that could be locally severe with hail and damaging winds ahead of a cold front. Our high 71. Behind that front, much cooler and breezy on Friday with clouds and a high of 52. Right now, it's 39 at St. Peter's, 42 in Florissant, sunshine, and 39 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, thank you, Joe. It is now 7:42.
And we're going to take a quick time out, and we'll be back. Actually, let's go straight to sports.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So Call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com, all one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
All right, let's get after it. There's a lot to get to here when it comes to sports. We had a huge day yesterday. My goodness, was there so much going on. Let's start with baseball, because this is a big day for the Cardinals, Matt Pauley, as everybody gets back together officially in Jupiter.
Today's the first full squad workout for the Cardinals, and while most position players have already been in camp working their own program, the workouts will now be dictated by the team. As hitters start to take swings, manager Oliver Marmol has a good sense of where they are coming into camp.
Visiting guys and making sure that everybody's on the same page, and the amount of videos being sent back and forth between the hitting department, it's just we know where everybody's at. Now we get to see them in person together. Some of them we've already done that. I'm excited to see everybody here, but we're not going to be surprised by anything.
In defensive drills yesterday, J.J. Weatherholt worked at second with Nolan Gorman at third. Between the team's group of catchers, Weatherholt, shortstop Mason Wynn, and center fielder Victor Scott II, Marmol thinks the up-the-middle defense will be a club strength.
You want to be strong at the middle, and St. Louis is no secret. If you don't play good defense, people will let you know. So you want to have somebody you trust behind the plate. You want to be able to feel really strong about your shortstop and second base combination. You want a guy in center field that can go get it, and we're working towards all of those in a very positive way.
This year's camp will include many instructors coming in. Today, that will include club special assistant Yadier Molina. In Jupiter, Florida at Cardinals spring training, Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Just to the north, Daytona, Florida, the Daytona 500.
1 lap to go.
Barnes Jewish Hospital in Washington.
This is the one you want to lead.
It's on its
Once
lap.
it comes out, it's over. Hocevar in the wall, turned around in front of the field. Around goes Jones. Ricky Stenhouse to the front. Elliott around the outside. Still green. Reddick on the bottom. Reddick, Elliott. The help's on the outside. Here comes Chase Elliott. Can it be?
Yes,
Chase
Dennis.
Elliott.
Stuck in the middle with no help.
Zane Smith with him. On the bottom is Tyler Reddick. They come up single file. Zane Smith's going to have one shot at Chase Elliott, NASCAR champion, most popular driver, trying for the win, and Reddick to the top side. He's got help. Riley Herbst, his teammate. Reddick drops to the bottom. Alongside Elliott, in the wall goes Herbst, and Tyler Reddick comes to the line. Wow. A shower of sparks behind him. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
What an incredible final lap. Tyler Reddick wins the Daytona 500 in dramatic fashion with cars crashing behind him, including Chase Elliott, who made that great run at the final moment only to come up short. And Reddick wins the Daytona 500 in a car owned by Michael Jordan, as Jordan and Daytona 500 winner 3 times over, Denny Hamlin, owned that, 2311 Racing. Reddick drives a Toyota and gets himself the victory in Daytona. And this was, of course, in the news recently that Michael Jordan was in that federal antitrust lawsuit that NASCAR had to settle on the 9th day of trial. That settlement changed the revenue sharing model in the U.S. Top Motorsports Series. And there's Jordan holding the Daytona 500 trophy on victory lane yesterday. Really something. Meanwhile, the NBA All-Star game went on without him, and it was a new format for the NBA, a 4-game round-robin tournament, each game about 12 minutes long. Anthony Edwards of Minnesota ended up being the MVP of that tournament. USA Hockey beat Germany 5-1. They entered the elimination tournament as the number 2 seed at the Winter Olympics. The number 1 is Canada. Illinois with a tremendous win at home against Indiana. Illini looked great, playing without one of their best players, Andrei Stojakovic. It was David Mirkovic who had 25 points and 7 rebounds as number 8 Illinois beat Indiana 71-51, and they had Kylan Boswell back. He had a broken hand, missed 7 games, returned, had 9 points, 7 rebounds, committed just a turnover. Keaton Wagler, magnificent, 18 points for the Illini. They win by 20 in Big Ten play at home. We will have the SLU Coaches Show tonight. Rebecca Tillett will be joining us from Ballpark Village. That'll air at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, we look forward to bringing you Billiken basketball tomorrow night as the SLU men visit Rhode Island. That's a 6 o'clock tip. We'll get the new top 25 out today, and we'll find out exactly where the Billikens are. And if they move up a little bit, we shall see. It has been a tremendous year for SLU basketball. They're 24-1 overall. Kansas State is 10-15. And they fired their basketball coach, Jerome Tang, yesterday, 4 days after many Wildcats fans showed up with bags over their heads for a home blowout. The athletic director, Gene Taylor, announced the move in a statement saying recent public comments and conduct, in addition to the program's overall direction, have not aligned with K-State's standards for supporting student athletes and representing the university. Looks like Tang is going to possibly fight that. We shall see. I'm Tom Ackerman on the voice of the Cardinals and Billikens, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine physicians have long been leaders in heart and vascular care. Now, we're taking the patient experience to another level by opening our new state-of-the-art patient tower, designed specifically with heart patients in mind. By combining the latest technology with thoughtful design and private rooms, heart patients can experience faster healing, reduce stress, and improved outcomes. Learn more at barnesjewish.org/heart.
Is your furnace on its last legs? Don't wait for a cold night to find out. Jerry Kelly and KMOX are giving you the chance to win a brand new furnace this winter season. Just go online to KMOX.com/contest through March 1st and nominate someone who you think deserves a brand new furnace. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Win a brand new furnace. For more information and contest rules, just head to KMOX.com/contests.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It is 7:50 and traffic is light this morning because most people have the day off for President's Day. Weather-wise, it's a great day to have off because we'll have sunshine today, at least partly sunny skies, and a high of 69 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 65, 74 or close to it on Wednesday. Right now in downtown St. Louis, we've got sunshine and 38 degrees. It is now time for the news to continue here at 7:50. Religious leaders from across the St. Louis region invite people to join them on the Martin Luther King Bridge later this morning for a President's Day rally. They say they want to raise a moral voice in solidarity with immigrants. The rally is from 10 until noon. Organizers say signs are welcome, but they must include messages of hope, peace, and love. No negativity will be allowed. Another President's Day ceremony taking place this morning in Lafayette Square. This ceremony centers around the bronze statue of George Washington in Lafayette Park. That starts at 9:30 at the Kern Lakeside Pavilion. We get more from Fox 2 reporter Laura Simon.
And that statue, a big part of why this location at Lafayette Park matters. It was put up in 1869, and it's one of only 6 bronze castings made by a much older marble statue of Washington created in 1788 by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdin.
A wreath-laying ceremony will take place at 10, followed by a talk by St. Louis University professor Lori Glover. A Missouri man is on the FBI's most wanted list after being charged in a massive $220 million cattle fraud scheme.
Federal prosecutors say Joshua Link from the Springfield region, along with 4 others, defrauded more than 2,000 victims through a Texas-based company. The group allegedly promised investors their money would go towards specific cattle and meat processing profits. Instead, investigators say the suspects used funds from new investors to pay off earlier ones and cover personal expenses. Link currently faces more than a dozen federal charges, including wire fraud and money laundering. 4 other suspects are in custody, but Link remains a fugitive at this point. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Small businesses are being targeted and exploited for a quick cash grab. That's according to Missouri Congressman Sam Graves. And the Business Journal reports more than 100 locally owned businesses across Missouri have been the target of lawsuits from lawyers who claim the company websites are out of compliance with the ADA.
In Jefferson City, the Act Against Abusive Website Access litigation would give businesses 90 days to alter their websites before a lawsuit can ensue. A Kansas City deli owner testified before a House committee that the letter he received did not specify how his website was out of compliance. Businesses are reportedly spending tens of thousands of dollars to settle these lawsuits.
A longtime advisor to Illinois politicians is working on a new project creating a tribute to American entrepreneurs. Retired Illinois Policy Institute Chief John Tillman says his Hall of Giants will premiere this summer with a traveling exhibit on the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
Tillman says the hall will celebrate the contributions of entrepreneurs big and small, who he says share a few common traits.
Entrepreneurs are very self-accountable, they're resilient, they're curious, and very much they are deeply focused on their customer. Those are the common traits, although the rest of the personality can be quite varied.
Tillman is looking for a site for a permanent home, which he describes as a cross between the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Disney World.
Now let's go back to Barack Obama. The former president is clarifying his weekend comment on aliens.
Former President Barack Obama is shutting down some alien buzz and says there's no evidence that aliens have made contact after comments he made in a lightning round of questions with podcast host Brian Tyler Cohen that went viral over the weekend. Cohen asked Obama, "Are aliens real?" To which Obama answered, "They're real, but that he hasn't seen them and that they're not being kept at Area 51. Those comments got social media buzzing. Now in an Instagram post, Obama says that his answer was in the spirit of the speed round questioning and says that statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there, adding that he saw no evidence during his presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us, ending his comments with the word "really" with an exclamation point. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
At Johns Hopkins, I'm Elizabeth Tracy. RNA stands for ribonucleic acid, a class of it known as messenger RNA, or mRNA for short, has been much in the news. Anna Durbin, a vaccine expert at Johns Hopkins, explains a bit about RNA and how it is used in vaccines.
RNA is your body's machinery. We use RNA to make all of the proteins in our body, all of the enzymes, everything that keeps our body running. RNA is very short-lived. The RNA in these vaccines does not stick around long at all in your body, maybe 12 at maximum 24 hours, and then it's gone. If that RNA, while it's there, it's producing that protein that's stimulating your immune response.
Durbin notes that the RNA prompts production of a protein that our bodies will produce an immune response to. And since it's so short-lived, that's one reason additional vaccinations may be necessary. At Johns Hopkins, I'm Elizabeth Tracy.
Moves by the Trump administration have slowed cancer research. I'm Jackie Fortier, and this is your KFF Health News Minute. Joan Brugge runs a cancer research lab at Harvard. Last year, the National Institutes of Health froze millions of her grant dollars.
We basically had to cut back.
That, plus new barriers for staff on work visas, has caused research delays. President Trump proposed slashing the NIH budget this year before Congress stepped in. More of America's doctors are working into their golden years. Nearly a quarter of U.S. physicians are older than 65. Some health systems screen older doctors for cognitive and physical decline. Getting older doesn't mean they have to stop providing care. Even if a doctor may be too old to perform demanding tasks like surgery, their experience can be vital in the clinic or in the classroom. There's more at kffhealthnews.org.
It's a great time, if there's ever a great time, to purchase a furnace or an air conditioner. I know it's winter. We got some great pricing. You can get 0% financing. So if you have been told that you need a new furnace, definitely give me a call. I could probably save you lots of money. Get a second opinion. Call me. Next day installs for your furnace so you won't be without heat. Very long. A furnace average install about 2-3 hours for a furnace. So not a big issue to do it now. And like I said, great pricing. So if that's you, call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Just the easiest number. And there's one. 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Hey guys, Glover here for Zero Res. Zero Res wants to give your home a little extra love. This week only, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $109 plus a 4th room for free. Book online by February 20th at ZeroResSTL.com.
Our forecast AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg says sunny and a high of 69 degrees today. How about that? Tonight, partly cloudy, low 45. Tomorrow, breezy in the afternoon, a little cloudy, high 65. Wednesday's high 74. And Thursday, a 71-degree day, but an afternoon thunderstorm. Is this spring or is this February? It's almost 8 o'clock. What do you have coming up at the 8 o'clock hour?
Well, the grandson of Charles Lindbergh, Eric Lindbergh, stops by to talk more about the Lindbergh Foundation and what it does. Also, the Laumeier Sculpture Park is celebrating its 50th anniversary. We'll get more details on that and more after CBS.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 2 weeks and a day, and there's still no sign of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, who disappeared from her home in Tucson in the middle of the night. Her family has issued a new plea. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
As the search for Nancy Guthrie enters a 3rd week, Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie had this message late Sunday for her mother's abductor.
It is never too late to do the right thing.
Investigators are now focusing on items they believe the suspect was wearing the night Guthrie was taken on February 1st.
They believe his clothing and a face mask were purchased at a Walmart. There's no sign of a quick end to a partial government shutdown that began Saturday over Democrats' demands for major changes to ICE operations after deadly crackdowns in Minneapolis. Minnesota Republican Tom Emmer tells CBS Mornings.
The House did our job. We have an agreement. My position is the Senate should pass the bill that we already passed.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on CBS's Face the Nation.
To have a good faith conversation about everything, but fundamentally, we need change that is dramatic, that is bold, that is meaningful, and that is transformational.
A trial begins in Georgia this morning for Colin Gray. His son was a high school freshman when he allegedly brought an AR-15 style rifle to class and shot and killed 2 students and 2 teachers. CBS's Skylar Henry is in Winder.
Investigators say warning signs surfaced a full year before the shooting.
Did you say something about school shooting? I just told him I don't know what.
Body cam from 2023 shows deputies questioning Colt Gray and his father Colin after receiving anonymous tips about online school shooting threats linked to the teenager.
Colt, 16 now, is awaiting trial on 55 charges, including murder. Marco Rubio continues his European tour with a meeting with Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban in Budapest.
While signing a deal on nuclear power generation cooperation, the Secretary of State said the U.S. and Hungary are entering what he called a golden era.
The relationship between the United States and Hungary today is as close as I can possibly imagine it being.
Prime Minister Orban maintains close ties with Russia's President Vladimir Putin and buys Russian oil, with the Ukrainian delegation heading to Geneva for another round of U.S. brokered talks with the Russians. Rubio said,
"We're the only nation on earth that apparently can get both sides to the table to talk."
Michael Toscano, CBS News.
The suspect in the mass shooting that killed 15 people at a Hanukkah party at Australia's Bondi Beach made his first court appearance in Sydney today via video. Naveed Akram's attorney, Ben Archbold.
He's just a client, and he's a client that needs to be represented, and we don't let our personal view get in the way of our professional obligation.
This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored.
It is now 8:03 and we've got mostly sunny skies. It's 39 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Government offices, the stock market, and schools are closed today in observance of President's Day, but most big retailers are open. When in doubt, call ahead or look up more specific schedules online for your neighborhood. National parks are open and free to U.S. residents on President's Day. We're awaiting more details from Illinois State Police about a fatal crash that happened overnight in Edwardsville. A pickup truck crashed into Redmond Insurance Agency's building on South Main. That brought an end to a police pursuit of that vehicle. No officers were injured in the crash. The building does have major damage. Redmond Insurance Agency posted on social media that due to the severe damage caused by a truck crashing into their building, they cannot handle in-person business there. Redmond customers are urged to use the Collinsville location for all in-person assistance until further notice. Jefferson County Sheriff Dave Marshak says a murder suspect is dead after taking his own life in a Festus hotel. 69-year-old Bill Moorman found dead Sunday morning following a standoff with police that lasted several hours. Sheriff Marshak says Moorman shot, stabbed, and killed 46-year-old Marion Ludwig Saturday afternoon in a home in the 2600 block of Winding Valley Drive in Fenton. Guests were evacuated from the Festus Holiday Inn Express and were taken to Festus C6 School District for safety. Marshak says Moorman and Ludwig knew each other, but their relationship at this point is unclear. Moorman's body was found with the use of a drone. Marshak says Moorman had served time in Minnesota for a previous murder. The St. Louis City Police Department's Force Investigation Unit is looking into the death that resulted from a trip to the hospital after a man was found to be behaving erratically in public. Police say 29-year-old Mark Smith was detained by a security guard on Thursday. There was no ambulance readily available, so officers reportedly decided to take Smith to the hospital in the back of a police van. And it was during that ride, they say, Smith allegedly rammed his head into a metal screen enough times to knock himself out, and Smith later died at a hospital on Saturday. Illinois lawmakers are looking to crack down on the 5-hour window for home service calls.
State Senator Christopher Belt says he's tired of waiting around all day for the cable guy. And he thinks you probably are too. The Swansea Democrat introduced Senate Bill 3066, which would force service providers to stop giving customers vague multi-hour arrival estimates. Under the new proposal, companies would have to provide a specific 2-hour window for appointments. If a tech can't narrow it down that much, the bill mandates they have to at least call or text the customer 1 hour before they actually arrive. Belt says the legislation is necessary to protect consumers from giant corporations that buy up local family businesses and then force grandfathered customers to wait all day for service. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Missouri Senator Josh Hawley makes a social media post encouraging people to apply to the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act if they haven't already.
For $40 million so far, $40 million just to Missouri has gone out. And I will tell you that this is available to every person in the state of Missouri who's been exposed to nuclear radiation.
Hawley says you can apply online, and if you need help, you can contact his office. From the KMOX business desk, a downtown St. Louis entertainment district is taking shape. State legislation allowing such a district was signed into law last summer. Now Alderman Jamie Cox Antwi and Rasheen Aldridge have introduced a bill that would establish the downtown St. Louis Sports and Entertainment Community Improvement District that would include most of downtown and downtown West. That district would be funded by the state with $2.5 million a year going into it at first. Cox Antwi says the district will create new tools for state resources to be invested in downtown St. Louis and would be governed by a board of directors appointed by the mayor. We'll take a look coming up at traffic, if there's any to report to you, and also the weather, which is very spring-like. And then We're going to check in with the son of Charles Lindbergh. Can you believe next year already is going to be the 100th anniversary of the Spirit of St. Louis flight across the Atlantic? There's a big party planned. We'll tell you more about that and the Lindbergh Foundation coming up next here on Total Information AM.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Total Information AM. Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 8:10 and the forecast is really beautiful for today. In fact, we could be in record-tying territory by tomorrow, or make that Wednesday. We're looking at areas, well, the dense fog I'm sure is burned off by now, but we'll have partly sunny skies and it's going to be getting warmer. High of 69 degrees today. Yeah, it is, in case you were wondering, February 16th. Also, we're looking at partly cloudy skies tonight, 45 degrees. So 69 today, 65 tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. And then Wednesday, we'll have sunshine and the high near 74 degrees. That is the record set in 1971. I say we tie it or break it. Thursday is when things start to change because it'll start out with sunshine and building clouds and a high of 71, but then a thunderstorm moving through, and that could be a severe storm with some hail and damaging winds. So Friday, it'll be much cooler, 52 degrees, but still not bad for February. Right now in downtown St. Louis, it's sunny and 39 degrees at 8:11. This is Total Information AM. Eric Lindbergh is a pilot, artist, entrepreneur, and the grandson of Charles Lindbergh. He is also the chairman of the Lindbergh Foundation, which is now based in St. Louis. It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Debbie. Thanks for having me.
For people who are not familiar, can you explain what the Lindbergh Foundation is and what you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if we go back to the origin story, my grandfather was flying the mail between St. Louis and Chicago when he heard about this incentive prize, $25,000 to the first team that could fly from New York to Paris or Paris to New York, either direction. And he sought out some business partners here in St. Louis to help him buy an airplane to go after that prize. And they decided to call that plane the Spirit of St. Louis. And it was probably the best branding exercise in history because my grandfather won that prize flying solo. from New York to Paris. And it nearly instantaneously circled the globe because radio was new then, and he became a superstar, I guess.
Probably the most famous person in the world at that time.
For about 10 years straight, according to biographers. And that jump-started the golden era of aviation. And the thing was, he then married my grandmother, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, and they charted routes all around the world in the 1930s, early 1930s, doing something nobody had ever done before. And they came to know that this technology that could connect us over large distances could also harm our quality of life, because they saw from above all this beauty, and yet this technology could harm our quality of life and create problems that they saw from the air. Well, then the astronauts, the Apollo astronauts, who they all got to know, flew up into space and saw it from above, even further up. And they call this the overview effect. And it causes people to be really conscious of the Earth and the fragility of the Earth, and that we need to protect that. So Neil Armstrong and General Jimmy Doolittle, Jim Lovell, and others formed the Lindbergh Foundation at the Explorers Club in New York in 1977. And we've been working ever since to maintain a balance between this technology and civilization's needs and preservation of our biosphere.
That is really wonderful. Why did you move to St. Louis? Is it because of that connection?
It really is. I think we were sort of homeless in that we had decentralized after COVID, and we're sort of re-energizing for the 100th anniversary. And one of our dear friends here, Lotzi Holton at the Explorers Club, had us come in and talk about the 100th and what we thought we could do with it. And she said, "Oh, you should move to St. Louis." And we thought, not a bad idea. So in 2024, we moved to our headquarters to the 39 North out by the Danforth Plant and Science Center. And we've been hard at work ever since.
You mentioned your grandmother, Anne Morrow Lindbergh. A lot of times she is really a side character. She's just Charles Lindbergh's wife. But you mentioned that she was out there doing things too. Can you talk a little bit about some of her accomplishments?
Yeah, my grandmother really was a partner to my grandfather in many ways. And they had this equality that was rare, I think, at the time. And she became a pilot, the first female licensed glider pilot in the United States, and a co-pilot on those survey flights for Pan American Airways. And she was a radio operator. I mean, she was essential crew. And so those flying experiences then translated into writing. And she wrote North to the Orient and Listen to the Wind, these two books that were bestsellers about those journeys with incredible depth. And then she went on to have a career in literature. And her best-selling book, Gift from the Sea, still sells about 30,000 copies a year. It's extraordinary how many people she's reached with this depth of experience. And I think it's one of the most gifted books on the planet.
And going back to Charles Lindbergh's famous flight, it's hard to believe that it's almost 100 years ago. Next year is the 100th anniversary?
Yes. So May 2021, it took him 33 hours to fly across the Atlantic, and 2027 is the 100th anniversary. And since that anniversary, we're going to be focused a lot on my grandfather and that experience and how it affected the planet. The 99th this year in May 20th, and we're going to celebrate the 99th anniversary, honoring my grandmother and women in aerospace and literature. So that's going to be an extraordinary event that kicks off the 100th anniversary year for us.
Awesome. At the Missouri History Museum. I was curious if you knew your grandparents well. I was trying to figure out the years of, when they were here and when you were born, but what are your memories?
Yeah. So my grandfather died when I was 9. And so I knew him as a child and had great fond memories of him. I think he saw children as very authentic and was easy around kids. And I think sometimes in the family, we think he was on the spectrum. So he was incredibly savant, smart about everything engineering, and was often right and knew everybody, because he probably did. But he was hard. And I've met a lot of people who didn't like that hard edge because he constantly spoke the truth, and he could be, his edges weren't polished in terms of communication. so I have that great memories of him as a kid. And then, of course, my grandmother lived to be 90. Now I'm going to make a mistake. In her 90s, she was gentle and interesting and like a butterfly, I would say, beautiful and eloquent and fragile in a very reverent kind of a way. So they had this interesting, partnership, and I have that. I hold that. And my grandfather was this hero, but he was also an anti-hero to some people. And my grandmother has really become the heroine in the family, and the foundation tries to celebrate that balance in that relationship equally.
Before we let you go, going back to the Lindbergh Foundation, can you give me an example of a couple of maybe projects or particular things that the foundation is working on?
Sure. Well, one of our past projects that was super exciting and interesting was that we ran a program called Air Shepherd. And this was where we used drones to stop elephant and rhino poaching in Africa. And we got the first beyond visual line of sight permissions and the first night flying permissions to fly drones to stop the poachers from the, killing the megafauna in Africa. And so that was an extraordinary program that was very successful. It was just super expensive and hard to operate in Africa without boots on the ground there. So we passed that along to another nonprofit organization. And as we're focusing on the 100th anniversary, we have this great opportunity to create leverage. We'll have the world's eyeballs focused on this. And on the 75th, we did that in 2002. I flew across the Atlantic from San Diego, where the original airplane was built, to here to St. Louis, where we started the X Prize Foundation, and to New York, and then to Paris, all to focus eyeballs on the future of flight and the X Prize. This was the largest cash prize in history we launched under the arch here in St. Louis in 1996. $10 million for the first private manned space flight. We were successful. We should have failed, but we were successful, and we gave away that prize in 2004. So my flight across the Atlantic helped that, and our backers here in St. Louis helped to create the modern commercial spaceflight industry that we're seeing today, where Musk, Bezos, and Branson are trying to sell you and I tickets for CubeSats or our warm bodies to fly into space. So we want to have an announcement as powerful as that on the 100th anniversary to carry across as a payload, and have all that and emanate here from St. Louis.
Do you want to give us a sneak peek, or we'll just wait and see?
Well, no guarantees, but we're working on education programs here, exciting STEM education programs for kids. And we're working on incentive prizes in partnership with the X Prize Foundation, which is now the preeminent prize-giving, prize philanthropy organization in the world. And who knows what we can do with that. I can't uncork anything at the moment, but we want to have as much impact or more than we did on the 75th anniversary. And that's exciting.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for coming by and telling us more about the Lindbergh Foundation. That is Eric Lindbergh, who is the chairman, joining us here on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for Zero Res. So we just celebrated Valentine's Day. They want to give your home a little extra love. This week only, get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $109. That is a great, great price. Plus a 4th room for free. Book online by February 20th. 314-474-2020 or ZeroResSTL.com. Don't forget to mention the DGS. It's this week only. It's a killer price. ZeroResSTL.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
It is now 8:23 from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. It's going to be a beautiful day today with a high of 69 degrees and partly sunny skies, 65 tomorrow. 74 on Wednesday. Right now it's sunny and 39 degrees downtown. At 8:23, I am Debbie Monterey here on Total Information AM. For those of you who have the day off and you're just sitting relaxing, well, I've got a great idea for you. How about a trip? I think we all need a little bit of a break. Joining me right now from Cruise and Tour is Doug Johnson. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good. I am looking so forward to this trip that we are planning for Arizona. We're doing this in September, and I would love for you to tell our listeners a little bit more about the itinerary for this trip.
Sure, I'd be happy to. And I think you're absolutely right. I'm located in New England and Massachusetts, and I was listening to your forecast and kind of envious of that. So
oh my gosh. It melted all the snow. We had a lot of it, so it's an exciting time.
Yes, we still have quite a bit here on the ground, but it's nice to have something to look forward to, as you were saying here when we started. So this is one of my favorite destinations anywhere. I've been lucky enough in the travel business to do a lot of traveling around the world, and this is one of my favorite areas. There's just so many beautiful things here to see, and it's fairly close to home for us. So sometimes we ignore these beautiful spots nearby. So this is a nice trip, relaxing 4 nights in one hotel. So people appreciate that, where you can kind of unpack and get settled. And then we do, day trips to some beautiful spots here. We'll go to the Grand Canyon for a day and ride the Grand Canyon Railway from a part of Arizona into the canyon, and have time at the south rim of the canyon. Walking around and looking and taking in those views. We'll spend another day on Lake Powell, which is a beautiful man-made lake right on the Arizona-Utah border. And if people haven't seen that, it's kind of a hidden gem. I've been there a few times and taken my kids as well. It's beautiful. It's almost like what you would envision, a flooded Grand Canyon, and you've got these sheer cliff walls, and we do a boat cruise here. And it's just very, very quaint. It's all a protected national park area. And then we'll do another kind of a day trip over to Sedona. And obviously people have seen plenty of photos of Sedona. That area is in a lot of movies, that Sedona and Red Rocks country, and have some time to explore Sedona there as well, and see some beautiful scenery on the way there and back. And our hotel is in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's a great little property in a country setting, and there's nature trails around there when people have a few minutes in the morning or later in the afternoon to go for a walk as well.
Yeah, this is a great trip, I think, for our KMOX listeners, because we're not going to be like bungee jumping or going all the way down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. This is sightseeing. This is I haven't been to any of these places, so I can't wait to see them. This is going to be unforgettable, but also not super long, so you're not gone forever.
Right. And it's not strenuous. Like you say, there's people that do, go and camp overnight at the bottom of the canyon, or, ride ponies down or back. We're not doing anything extreme like that. So, but you have a nice vantage point in all these areas, and, really feel like you've seen some of the beauty that our country has here.
And the great advantage of doing a tour like this with your company is that it's just one price. You don't have to do anything. All the planning is done for us. We just go and enjoy.
Exactly. And, this is what we specialize in. We do only group trips. We work with radio stations and hosts like yourselves across the country. And, we've learned over the years that people kind of like that. They don't want to feel like they're getting nickel and dimed and digging in their pocket all the time and worry about, well, how much do I tip a driver, or someone grabbing my suitcase, or a tour guide, things like that. So we include all those tips and the guides and the drivers and, all that transportation door to door. We're flying everybody right out of St. Louis and then right back to St. Louis. And so, in between there, we've got everything handled for them.
We can take a couple dozen people along with us. So we hope you can join us. This is coming up in September. So we've got time, but not time to plan. Like, people have to get in on this now. And then you can, think about what you're going to wear all summer
Exactly.
long.
And sometimes people don't realize that, even though it's only February, we do need to plan these far ahead just to hold on to the air reservations and our hotel blocks and all those things. So it's definitely not too early to have your vacation booked for this year and look ahead. And they can see all the details. We have a special website set up so it's easy to find. It's travelwithdebbie.net. Make sure you're spelling the name the way you spell it, DEBBIE, but travelwithdebbie.net, and it'll take them just to the page of the trip that we're talking about. Or they can give our team a call, 800-383-3131. And, we'll answer any questions or help them out with a reservation if they need some assistance.
Fantastic. That is Doug Johnson with Cruise and Tour. We're traveling to Arizona in September. It's going to be Sedona, the Grand Canyon, Lake Powell, and so much more based in Flagstaff. Travelwithdebbie.net. Log on today, secure your spot so we can travel to Arizona in September. Doug, thanks so much, and I hope your snow melts soon.
Thanks very much, Debbie. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. It is now, 8:29, and the time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. Of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Folks, I have a great President's Day idea for you. It's beautiful weather. It's spring-like. It's time to get to Ted Drewes Frozen Custard. The St. Louis tradition is now open at 6726 Chippewa. Since 1929, Ted Drewes on Chippewa, open daily for its 97th season, offering concretes, malts, shakes, sundaes, floats, ice cream, sodas. Quarts are available to take home. Ted Drewes, it's not just a custard stand. It's fourth generation, family-run business built on quality, service, and a love for St. Louis. It's a St. Louis tradition. It's Ted Drewes Frozen Custard, and it's incredibly delicious. An unforgettable experience. If you're craving something sweet, which I am right now just talking about it, Ted Drewes on Chippewa is ready for you, open daily. Quality, consistency, tradition. Ted Drewes Frozen Custard. Don't forget to swing by the gift shop as well at Ted Drewes.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
It is now 8:32 from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. It's going to be a partly sunny day today and a high of 69 degrees. Right now, it's sunny and 41. AP correspondent Donna Warder reports on the fight to make profound autism its own diagnosis.
9-year-old Connor Murphy and his twin brother Ronan, who live in Massachusetts, have profound autism. Their father, Matthew Murphy.
They're going to need 24/7 care for the rest of their life.
But the diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder, adopted in 2013, is very broad. In the U.S., 1 in 31 children have been diagnosed. There are many people who don't need constant care, and that's taking the focus off helping people with round-the-clock needs. Connor and Ronan's mom, Andrea Murphy.
There's truly different needs for children with profound autism than someone who, has a level 1 autism diagnosis.
Researchers estimate that about a quarter of those on the spectrum have profound autism. Many advocates say it should be a separate diagnosis. Dr. Andy Shee of Autism Speaks.
They are not consistently included in research, and they're not part of the conversation about services. As a result, they often face the most challenges in navigating their daily life. So there's absolutely no doubt that we need to do more for this community. And having a separate diagnosis will undoubtedly help.
But some in the autism community worry that creating a separate diagnosis would reduce attention on the broader spectrum and the individual needs of everyone on that spectrum. Despite the challenges, the Murphys say they're focused on the joy.
I want to go forward or back?
Forward.
Okay, so you say, I want to go forward.
I want to go to the foot.
Okay.
Nice sentence, Connor.
They bring a light to you no matter how bad of a day you're having. They seem to know, and they will come up and give you hugs and kisses.
Having Ronan and Connor with the complex diagnosis, I think they were given to Matt and I for a reason. And we know that we can, give them whatever success they need, because we're not going to be quiet and let them just kind of go through life. We're going to be their biggest cheerleaders, and we're going to speak up when it's not appropriate.
I'm Donna Warder.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
It's now 8:36. This is Total Information AM. I'm Debbie Monterey, and it is time for your Money Minute from Bloomberg, sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Investors are pricing in higher expectations, now at about 50%, that the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates 3 times this year. It follows today's reading of U.S. inflation. The Labor Department's January Consumer Price Index showed a 0.2% increase month to month and 2.4% year to year. Both figures are below forecasts. A legal technicality is making it tough to make a winning bet on DraftKings. It's warning profit and sales this year will be less than what the market had previously expected. A big reason is that DraftKings and rival online gaming companies are tightly regulated by states, and fast-growing prediction markets, which are federally regulated, mimic many of the same trades. Wendy's is closing hundreds of restaurants as sales there plunge. As many as 350 of them are closing in the first half of this year. Some actually closed in the fourth quarter. Wendy's just reported a crushing 11.3% decline in same restaurant sales in the last quarter. Matt Piper, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. I keep talking about things that are making me hungry. Now, how could a McKelvey Homes discussion make me hungry? Well, I'll tell you. If you're in the market for a new home, I'm going to tell you about Cottleville Trails. I've known Jim Brennan and McKelvey Homes for a long time, and this community is something special. Cottleville Trails, 5 lakes, a pool, playground, Francis House schools, and get this, you can golf cart or walk to downtown Cottleville for dinner or lunch at Menino's Market. Jim says it is his favorite new sandwich shop. And knowing Jim, that means something. And I did my own research and looked up Menino's, and it looks unbelievably good. I could go there right now and grab lunch. It's a neighborhood where you actually know your neighbors. Cottleville Trails, just part of the many communities that McKelvey Homes has available for you right now at McKelveyHomes.com. McKelvey Homes, move up to McKelvey.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I got you something extra special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
How does a blow and go sound?
I like it.
Great. Air Comfort Service will be here on Monday.
Wait, what?
Our attic insulation is in bad shape. Air Comfort Service heating and cooling and insulation can top off our insulation with blow and go and make our home more energy efficient. We can save up to 30% on our energy bills.
I love it when you talk savings to me.
Schedule your blow and go attic installation from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/blow today.
Considering buying or selling a home? When it comes to the Gelman team with eXp Realty, numbers don't lie. Over 1,500 Google and Zillow 5-star reviews, nearly 6,000 homes, and $2.5 billion in real estate sold. Call 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
This is Megan Lynch. You're listening to Total Information AM on KMOX. This year marks 50 years of Laumeier Sculpture Park in St. Louis County. Executive Director Lauren Ross on the line with me now to talk about the history of the park and what they're doing to honor the anniversary this year. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning.
Take us back to why Laumeier Sculpture Park was started in the first place.
Oh, well, it's amazing that we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. The park actually, it dates back to when this property was owned by Henry and Matilda Laumeier, and this was their home, and it was a sizable property, over 60 acres. And when Henry passed away, and then when his wife Matilda was nearing the end of her life, she was thinking about, they had no heirs, and she was thinking about what would happen to the house and property. And really, it was through meeting someone at the St. Louis County Parks and Recreation Department that they started having conversations, and he planted the seed of the idea of, why don't you leave your property to the Parks Department to be turned into a park for the enjoyment of all St. Louisans? And of course, she agreed to do so. And so our origin really started with this incredibly generous gift.
How has Laumeier evolved over the decades?
Well, so after the property was gifted, I will say that actually really Laumeier's roots are in more than one gift. The artist Ernest Trova, St. Louis artist, gifted over 40 sculptures to create the park, and this is really what allowed it to open, not just as a park but as a sculpture park. And so, again, our origins are really in these incredible acts of generosity. The park opened as a sculpture park in July 1976, hence this being our 50th anniversary year. And it has changed quite a bit over those decades. The park property size has grown with some additional acquisitions of land. And while it opened at first featuring the work of a single artist, Ernest Trevor, who I mentioned, pretty soon the decision was made to expand it and include other artists as well. So today we have, on any given day, you can visit the park and see around 70 sculptures. And I say around because the number does change. We have things that are pretty permanent, but we also have things that come and go. And these works are by a variety of artists, not just from St. Louis, but from all over the world.
Over the years, how many artists have been featured and maybe fostered there?
Well, we estimate the number of artists we have worked with over the years on exhibitions and commissions is around 1,000, which is really remarkable. It's very exciting for us.
Can you highlight some of the special things that you are going to be doing throughout this year for the 50th anniversary?
Absolutely. We're celebrating the anniversary all year long, and so we'll be rolling out special exhibitions and celebrations as the year progresses. But we just kicked it off with the opening of a very special exhibition in our indoor gallery. It's in the Aronson Fine Arts Center. And this is an exhibition looking back at 50 years of working with artists. And believe it or not, we tried our best to capture all 1,000 artists who we have a history of working with. And so it's just an incredible look back at some things, some artworks that are still here in the park, but also many artworks that are no longer here. And one of the reasons we're interested in doing that is I think sometimes people think sculpture parks don't change. You know, some of the sculptures that we have here are indeed very large and heavy, and so moving them around is not an easy feat. But there's actually a lot of projects that we do that are temporary. They're designed to just be here for a limited amount of time. And then we have other works that were here for many years, but eventually succumb to the elements. You know, when the artwork is outdoors year round, is subject to harsh conditions. And so sometimes, especially when artists work in organic materials, those pieces don't last forever. So this exhibition is just an incredible walk down memory lane. And for people who visited the park years ago and maybe haven't been here in a while, it's such a great opportunity to revisit past favorites that aren't here anymore, as well as learn quite a bit about pieces you may not be aware of.
So as folks are planning maybe their spring and their summer visits, what do they need to know to plan that visit?
Absolutely. I always recommend checking our website before you come so you can see the park hours as well as the hours for the Aronson Fine Arts Center. If you want to see the indoor exhibition, it's in that building and the hours are slightly different than the park itself. The hours also change a little bit seasonally. Since the park closes 30 minutes past sunset, that changes as the days get longer. And thankfully, the days are starting to get longer again. With the shift of daylight savings, the gallery hours will increase as well. So I always recommend for people to check the website and the calendar. Follow us on social media, sign up for email newsletters. We send about 2 newsletters a month. I think, you know, even if you are a frequent visitor to the park, you may be surprised by the really vast array of offerings that we have. People may know us for certain things and not others, but year round, we have educational programs, we have activities, we have artist talks, we have incredible celebrations. And I will say with us being right on the cusp of spring, that Mother's Day weekend is right around the corner. And a lot of St. Louisans know us for our Mother's Day weekend art fair. It's a beloved community favorite. It's coming up soon. So definitely get ready for that.
It's the Laumeier Sculpture Park Executive Director Lauren Ross. Happy 50th.
Thank you so much.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
If you're just tuning in, you missed my conversation a little bit ago with Doug Johnson of Cruise and Tour, because he was telling us more about this incredible trip to Arizona that KMOX listeners can take with me and others because this is going to be an amazing adventure. It's in September, but we need you to get on board now so that we can secure all the space and make sure that this trip is a go. But it is going to be a wonderful trip because you don't need your passport. You don't need to take a ton of time off. It's not going to be one of those exhausting things, and we're not doing anything crazy like bungee jumping or whatever. We are going to Arizona. We're going to be based in Flagstaff. This is a 5-day vacation. 5 days, 4 nights. And again, based in Flagstaff. But from there, we're going to travel to the Grand Canyon. We're going to travel to Sedona. We're going to go to Lake Powell, have lots of adventures in between. And it's the one price that's it, that, you don't have to worry about all the rest because they plan everything. And we just go and take in some of the most beautiful scenery in the United States of America. And I understand Flagstaff in September is a wonderful time to go because the temperatures are great and the crowds are less. So join me and KMOX listeners on this amazing 5-day Arizona adventure. Go to travelwithdebbie.net to book your Arizona escape or just get more information. Travelwithdebbie.net, or you can call 800-383-3131. Travelwithdebbie.net. I'll see you in Arizona.
Every spring brings promises, and every spring delivers surprises. This year, the Cardinals are writing a new story, and there will be plenty of surprises. Matt Pauley is in Jupiter with inside access to Camp Cardinals.
Presented by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And Happy Roof. We always create happy endings.
From breakout performances to roster revelations, get reports throughout the day on the voice of the Cardinals. KMOX. Spring training is here, and Cardinals baseball is heating up in Jupiter as young talent and big expectations take the field. The Gas House Gang is talking Cardinals all day long. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, Bernie Nicholas. Smart takes, insightful analysis, real Redbird conversation, plus live reports from Camp Cardinals with Matt Pauley and Mike Claiborne. If it matters to Cards fans, it's on the Gas House Gang. Weekdays at noon on KMOX.
Have you found it harder and harder to talk to people on the other side of the political spectrum? Have you just given up? What if they're your friends or family? Our next guest may have something that can help. Political strategist and senior advisor for Democracy Investment Fund, Trygve Olsen, joins me to tell us more about an app for that, for having hard political conversations. Trygve, what's the answer?
We built Listen to You off of years of research, and Listen to You uses AI, but quite honestly, that AI just ended up being the best tool for providing people the best way to sort of understand what they need to have better conversations. Spent 5 years studying 5,000 Americans and what's causing the divides. And so the AI asks you a few questions about yourself, ask some context about who you're having a hard time having a conversation with. You create profiles of both, and through those profiles, it develops an understanding of who you are and your personalities and bounces it up against those others. And then you get coaching from Proven Coaching. We worked with academics around the country, experts, and you have a coach while you role play the conversation and practice in the safe space.
I imagine you have to approach this as, this is a person I want to talk to, right? Or is this just like, I want to walk into a bar and have political conversations with anyone?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, you could type in generic people. I will say, it's funny you say that about a bar, because I was back home in River Falls not long ago, and we always go down to Johnny's Bar. I have to give Johnny's a shout out.
That would be Wisconsin, of course, because Trygve and I know each other from way back in the day when we both worked for the lieutenant governor of Wisconsin.
It's true. It's very true.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But I actually put in a couple of people myself that were, longtime friends of mine that I knew I was going to see. And it's a pretty political time in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the metropolitan area. And I knew that there were going to be people who wanted to talk to me. So I put in a couple of my buddies and just was like, how do I de-escalate if the conversation starts steering into a place that I didn't really want those conversations to steer into? And then I got advice about how to do that. And in fact, I ended up using some of those skills. to listen to them, quite frankly, and ask questions rather than just give my opinions to them and talk at them. Because that really, through the research, Deb, is one of the things that we found is people have lost the skills to listen and curiously ask, why do you feel the way you do? No opinions are going to be changed by preaching at people. Opinions get changed through asking people questions and getting them to see where there's incongruence between what they're advocating for politically and how they live their lives.
And it is Listen to You, as in LSTN, the number 2, and then you, listen2you.us if you want to look it up online. I love that it says first start with your goal, which I think is important because you can't just go shouting at the world. Like, what are you wanting to accomplish here? Is this like you're going to Thanksgiving dinner, or you're trying to talk to that friend who suddenly you're on the opposite end of things, right? That's where you start.
Yeah. I mean, that is where you start. You start with thinking about who are relationships that have been strained. And we've done, as I said, a lot of research. 1 in 5 Americans is estranged from a family member that they care about over politics, which means by estranged, in some cases, they're completely not talking. In many cases, or it could be they're avoiding family gatherings. And 2/3 of Americans, 2 in 3 of us, have moderated a friendship that we say has meaning to us today, and we're sad about it over politics. That's not what the founding fathers intended. And quite honestly, the impetus for all of this was I had done a focus group in Detroit because dads and daughters tend to struggle more than other child relationship over politics. And we were in Detroit doing focus groups of the people that were in our group. And this 30-year homicide detective came up to me after the group with tears in his eyes and said, I lost my daughter over politics. We haven't talked and we haven't spoken in 3 years, and I didn't understand it. Why? But I do after tonight, and I wasn't listening. Under his breath, almost to himself, said, "You know, it's like to lose your only daughter or your only child." And unfortunately, our first child, my wife and I learned that lesson, and I said to that guy, "I'm going to figure out a way to help you." And ultimately, that was the genesis for the app.
How long has this been active? So, are you seeing people engaging with this?
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. We soft launched it about 2 weeks ago. It had been in beta testing for a period before that, and I'm happy to say we had almost 5,000 visitors last night. And we're also having conversations. We have 4 college campuses where it's being used in curriculum to help people bridge divides, and we're trying to expand to other college campuses. The app is free for anyone who wants to use it. We use a pay it forward model. We don't target, train, or track people who use it. Hopefully we can help some people find some common ground.
Because when politics comes up, things can get heated pretty fast. So if people are looking to maybe not change somebody else's mind, but at least get to a place where you can have discussions again, Listen to You is a new way to talk politics. It'll sort of help you practice so you feel more confident the next time it comes up. Listen2you.us. That's LSTN, the number 2 you, listen2you.us. Trygve Olsen is with us. He helped develop that app, and he's a senior advisor for Democracy Investment Fund. Thanks so much for the time this morning.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored by Ethos.
Well, you can't dim